welcome everyone to the Circle Debate, the Wrestling Delorean and Cage My IQ podcast, New Japan show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the host, Stevie's one. I've been sitting here with my other host, mi familia. The greatest faction here of all time is New Japan. I'll tell you that. The best New Japan show around the world. The world, Craig. The world. That is right. So let me go ahead and choose, of course, mi familia. Of course, the dinero of all dineros. That's why he's green, because he don't always thinks about his money. So that's the main reason there.
My favorite color.
That's favorite, and his favorite color, and that is right. And ladies and gentlemen,
that's what's
my dinero, ladies and gentlemen.
Good, everybody.
Oh man, Juan, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank
you.
Juan. And of course, the man with the IQ that even Jay White is disappointed not having, especially Zack Sabre, because Zack Sabre is the one that needed this IQ, but he doesn't have it. That's why you got to follow Cage My IQ, ladies and gentlemen. Big boy, damn.
I told Jay White, I foretold this. We're gonna get into that later, but I told him it was gonna happen, and it did.
Future teller.
Yeah.
Oh yes, future teller. All right, but man, we are now in the final days of this New Japan recap week number 5. We've been covering night 15 through 18, the last day. 22 incredible matches that happened in the past week, and of course earlier today on the last day of New Japan. We're gonna get into who on the scoreboard, and who made it to the final 4. So I'm excited. All I can tell you is that where's Ned Flanders, damn it. Ned Flanders. Yes. All fucking weekend, I'll tell you that. It was so fucking exciting. So much, man. It just right night.
Tranquilo.
Okay, I'll try to be tranquilo, but fuck, okay, I can't help myself. It's too much. It's too freaking much. Because this is do or die, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna get into it now. Let's get into night 15 here on the recap right here. So night 15, we got Finlay versus El Phantasmo, Tamatonga, Great Okan, Zack Sabre versus Evo, Okada versus Tom Lawlor, and Tanahashi versus Hirooki, Goto. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, Finlay needed to win this one in order to be the leader in this block. So we're going to get into the first match of the card, which is, of course, it is in the D block tournament. We had David Finlay versus El Phantasmo. And Finlay needed this win in order to be in the leader to the top score on the card. And, man, unfortunately, he came up short. Nobody expected it. So, I mean, I did not. First of all, great opening match, by the way, by these two incredible athletes. El Phantasmo, again, another underrated star, and he made him name himself here in this tournament, which we'll get into all that throughout the last night of the G1. But this was a great match. So I'll take it to you, Big Dan. Finlay, El Phantasmo.
This match, I felt like he took this a little lightly, David Finlay. Like, it was coming into here. I felt like he was a little bit full of himself going into this. All he needed was one win, and he would have clinched the D block, because he had all the tiebreakers except for with the Yujiro Takahashi. That was the only one. But if he would have won that, he would have been good with all the tiebreakers. So he only needed to win this one. He comes into it. He came out hot. He looked really good. He was punishing El Phantasmo. Halfway through the match, they were going back and forth. But then he made a big mistake at the end. He went to do the trash panda. And I felt like he did it not as confident as he usually did. And all El Phantasmo did was he reversed it into a pin, and then he got the 1, 2, 3 count. It's probably going to be one of the themes of today's shows is the roll-up, and that's what he got, and he stuck out the win here without even doing too much offense in this matchup.
Yeah, indeed. I agree 100%. De Niro, take it away.
Yeah, this was a really good match to start out, but I totally agree. Like, it was a shocking win, and El Phantasmo got it with the crucifix pin out of reversing the trash panda. But I thought that, the chemistry between these two guys was really good, and I would like to see another matchup between these two down the line, because I really did feel like they did click, and I just thought that this was like a little taste of what they could do. But these next couple nights, El Phantasmo really showed that he could hang with some main event talent, which is really cool. But definitely a big win for him.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Indeed. And now we get into the second match of night 15, and that is, of course, on the B block, which we have Tama Tonga, who needs this win to survive, to be on top on the B block. So he needed these points against the Great Okan. And of course, Great Okan is already eliminated, but he's the one who can be the spoiler and breaking dreams come true, unfortunately. But he did not do this time because, of course, Tama Tonga with the win with the gun stun, getting his 2 points, gaining 8 points in the bracket. So take it away, Big Dan. Your thoughts on this matchup?
I really like this one because they went back and forth. There was a lot of just intensity in this match. There was points in time in the matchup midway through where they were going back and forth, countering the gun stung, and then he had the claw on him. And they were just going back and forth with it, I think 4 or 5 times. And then Tama Tonga was able to get like the better of it towards the end. I'm really starting to like the way that Tama Tonga uses the Supreme Flow now. Like I like how he hits the inverted DDT, I believe it is. It goes to the top. He does like the Randy Savage thing now.
Yeah.
Then he goes and then he goes up and he does the Supreme Flow, and it's like the showing of I'm getting ready to do the gun stung. Like he does that.
Yeah.
He usually pulls off the jacket, and then he goes for the gun stun and misses it 4 times before he hits it. And that's basically what happened here. And he was able to get the gun stun at the end in like a hard-fought battle and got the 1, 2, 3 here. But he took some damage here with those Mongolian chops. Like, getting hit with those chops by Great Okan, you just see it. I think that's why he wears the pants that he does with like the extra padding in the front, because of all the movement that he has to do with the chops. And I love how he does, like, as he does it more, you hear the sound of the chops get louder and louder. But like, this was just a great matchup and a great win for Tama Tonga, who at this point now is 4-1 going into that final matchup with Jay White.
Absolutely. And just wanted to add on what you said about Great Okan's moves. He impressed me in this match, the fact that, especially that judo throw that he did to, Tama Tonga, and then also that, having the claw on and then doing the spin around. I actually enjoyed that. Great Okan is improving in the ring to me a lot more. The past couple of, matches he's been having in the G1, and he's been impressing me a lot more lately, and I'm glad that he's developing, especially today.
Yeah. And they made a comment, I'll say it now, but they made a comment in the next match how they like how he's kind of using the claw to set up moves. Like, he's getting the claw and then he's using it to set up other maneuvers in his arsenal instead of using that as one of his main moves, because it's like, it's kind of picking people out. He's getting them with the claw, but then he's doing like an inverted DDT, or he's moving them over and power slamming them. It's become a good transition thing for him.
Agreed. Yeah, it looked like here, it looked like he was going to go for like a claw slam, which is what was inverted into the gun stun, because he had him up and he brought him up with it.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a great counter too. It was really awesome to see. I'm just really happy for Tama Tonga, and just to see him progress in this tournament. And also, like, I feel like coming out of this tournament, no matter what the results are going to be in the semifinals, I think that he's proven that he could be a main event wrestler. He's at that level now, and he proved in this tournament. But this matchup with Great Okan was good. I thought it was a decent matchup. Pretty good chemistry between the two. Great Okan is growing on me a lot more as well, and I like his offense. It's very unique, and I think that it meshed well with Tama Tonga's offense. So, good matchup.
Oh, man, indeed. I just hope they give Okan the Val Venus gimmick, man. Hello, ladies. You need to give him that fucking gimmick, man. Let United Empire... Let him be your Yujiro in your fucking United Empire. Let him be that at least. I will be happy to see that. Honestly, I would be. It'll be entertaining.
You should have Yujiro and Great Okan team up like when the Godfather teamed up with Val Venus.
Yes, that would be fantastic. I would love that. Hell yeah, that shit would be fantastic. All right, we get into the match number 3 of night 15. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Evo.
Oh, my God.
I have a lot to say about this.
Jesus Christ. Can somebody remind me who is the young lion that now Zack Sabre is training now? Because that young lion came out of nowhere and, obviously dressed as Zack Sabre with his jacket. And then, of course, they, Ibo and Togo thought under the impression that that was Zack Sabre. But no, he got his ass whooped. And then, of course, we see out of nowhere. Let me see if I can find that picture because I want to look for that picture. Let me just see. I am definitely going to look for that picture. Jesus Christ. I have it right here. Where is it?
I'm going to see if I can find out the name of the young lion.
Yes. And here's Sabre. Oh, man. Togo was not happy with that. But, of course, Sabre with the upset defeating Evo. With the European clutch. So Evo is out completely. He needed to win to stay alive in this one, but unfortunately, he is now out of the C Block tournament.
What a way to go out, too.
What a way to definitely go out. But yes, Evo is officially out now of this tournament. So I'll take it to you, Deniro, your thoughts.
I love the mind games that Zach played with his young lion, his trainee, Zack Sabre the third, I guess I'll call him. Right, I thought that was fun, and then getting Dick Togo in the wrist lock or whatever. I thought it was funny when Lance Archer said is Dick Togo's first name Richard. Like Lance. I was about to say Lance. Wait, shit, I'm living back in the past. Lance Archer, right? He's pretty good on commentary. I thought that he was pretty decent on this night.
Oh yeah,
but
he was.
This matchup was a quick matchup. It lasted about like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Zack Sabre Jr. made quick work of Evil. And yeah, like I said, Evil's now eliminated, but what a way to go out.
Yeah, definitely. What a way to go out for Evil. Big Dan.
Yeah, I just like the beginning. I couldn't find the young lion's name, but I bet you it's going to pop up when we get off. But I like that beginning. Like, you see him come out slow, but then you see the hat. You're like, why is he wearing a hat? And then I'm like, that has to be somebody else. So he's walking down, and he stops. You see them attack him. But then you see him go, whoa, what is this? And then you see Dick Togo go to the back, and then all of a sudden you see his hand get pulled into the curtain, and he basically gets put out of the match pretty quickly there for a moment. And they go to the ring. Him and Evil go to the ring. And I like how he took a play out of Taka Michinoku's playbook, a move that was taught to him by Taka, the Zack driver, and then that's how he beat him. Like, he was able to use that and then get the pin there. And just like De Niro said, he got out of there pretty quickly, which is a good thing in a tournament like this where you don't want to be wrestling so much, because once you get down to like the playoffs, you still want to have a little bit of energy left. So to get out of this match within 2-3 minutes is a big deal for him, because he can rest a little bit more and then move on to the next matchup, because this was his last matchup, I believe, before the final night. So he had extra time to rest and heal up for that last matchup against Naito.
Oh. Shout out to, of course, Cordy. Thank you for so much tuning in for our boy, Brother Tim. Oh, there you go. Oh, Fujita is a young. Okay, Fujita. Okay. I think I heard something that Kevin Kelly said, Fujita, but yes.
I thought it was Zack Sabre the third.
Yes.
Man, look at that. He was just like, oh, I got my ass whipped for you, man. Fuck, I got my ass whipped. You did all right. You took that sacrifice, buddy. Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it. Just take me under your wing, Master.
Yeah. Jesus. All right, the fourth matchup of the night 15, of course, is Kazuchika Okada versus Tom Filthy Lawlor. I want to give, this match. I want to congratulate Lawlor, because the fact is that he won over the fans in New Japan. He's done a fantastic job, and nobody really gives him the credit what he's done since him showing up in Japan. And I really could say, I know I might get shit on this, but I don't give a damn. But Okada really protected Lawlor in this match. He put him over. He definitely put him over. This match, he made him look solid. He made him look like what he's supposed to be. It's submission expert, former MMA fighter who is expertise on the ground. And Okada delivered that by not only just selling to Lawlor, putting him over, but just the way how he won with the pinfall. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is a roll-up season here that nobody expected. But of course, from the last match that Okada had, he was already kind of exhausted, and and then with this injury now with the arm, kind of was like, oh shit, is Okada in jeopody? So
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring that up too, because that's why he did the roll-up, was the fact that Tom Lawlor was attacking his arm the whole time, locking it up in the arm bar. He had him in the sleeper. He had his arm bent back. He was just doing a lot of damage to that. Yeah. And towards the end, he couldn't even do the clothesline. He couldn't even do that because he couldn't do that because he couldn't extend the arm. And then when he finally had a chance to do it, Tom Lawlor just fell down because he knew it was like, all I had to do is fall down, so he can't do it. And there you go. You got the arm triangle there. That's what probably hurt the most, was the triangle hold there. But he fell down on purpose so he could recover, not get hit by the Rainmaker, and then make Okada have to pick him up. And right when he thought they was going to steal one from Okada just goes in there and steals the victory with a roll-up. And you go like, whoa, seeing Okada win by roll-up and not by a finish, and then pin. You don't see that often, and that's putting, just like you said, that's putting Tom Lawlor over because of him getting over the crowd. The crowd loves him. That's why he does all these subtle things that get the crowd involved. Like he's putting the move in and goes,
he's coming in like this, and like, oh,
and then he claps his hands. He gets the crowd going. They get going. And then it's just a thing that even though he came into this as a heel, he kind of like just grew up and became like a babyface over here. He can go back to strong and being here, but over in Japan, he's a main man right now.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm with you 100%, man.
I would love if he stays in Japan after this, because this was a great matchup and he definitely went over that crowd. Shout out to Courtney in the chat, like for sure. Team Filthy all day, every day, man. I can't get enough. Like it's amazing. Like Tom Lawlor is a guy who I instantly enjoyed watching in MLW, and he just continued to grow on me ever since he's like continued to put in more work in professional wrestling. This was a great matchup with Okada. Great matchup. And I think that, in my opinion, this might be Tom Lawlor's best matchup that I've ever seen, because, he's been in there with great talent, but I feel like him and Okada had good chemistry, and I feel like Okada gave him the rub at the end, like you said, with the roll-up. So I think that was a great moment. And, we'll talk about later on in the show the big win that Tom Lawlor picked up. But I think that this was a really big moment for Tom Lawlor to get that rub from someone like Okada. So definitely a good matchup and a great moment.
Absolutely. And I mean, even though the beginning of the match, it kind of started a little bit slow, but it was just a slow chemistry just to get it, get the rhythm going between the both of them. And right towards the end, it delivered. I think the crowd was stoked about it, and they, hands down, congratulations to Lawlor for having a fantastic job overall in the G1, man.
I hope they give him more time over in Japan too. I hope he stays there, and I hope they bring the whole group over, because the more groups, the better. Just like with Team Filthy, you got the Mighty Don't Kneel. I hope they both group wise stay over there.
Well, you never know, because I listened to the Observer with Kevin Kelly was as a whole, as a guest. Yeah, kind of mentioned that it does open the doors to a lot now, to like the factions from New Japan Strong now going to Japan, introducing new factions to Japan, which we're seeing by far. Remind you still have, like, part of the United Empire. You still have TJP and Francesca, who are the IWGP Junior, tag team champions. And then you have, TMDK, Aussie Open, who just won the Strong tag team title. So a lot of things are going to open up, and they're going to give a lot of opportunity to a lot of the
and then vice versa. You can see these Japanese staples go over to New Japan Strong. They just, like I told you before, they just announced that Shingo Takagi is going to be at New Japan Strong in Las Vegas in September. And so you're going to start seeing the back and forth between the U.S. guys going to Japan and the Japan guys going to the U.S. and kind of going back and forth. So it's going to be nice. And just like I said in weeks past, this is the one thing that the pandemic made great is the fact that it allowed New Japan to start a show over here in the U.S., calling it strong, and the U.S. talent here. They got the dojo over here, and now that they started up a base over here and they got crowds that come to see him here, it allows them to get the New Japan stars more noticed worldwide instead of just in Japan, because they can go back and forth. Even if they just come here once or twice a year, it still gives them that focus, and it makes the product better.
Indeed, absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, 100%.
Now the main event, and I know that the Nero is gonna go crazy because this was a crazy match. Match of the night for night 15 for me, because this is do or die for Hirooki Goto to stay alive in this C Block tournament against Tanahashi. And man, this doesn't bring you back memories of seeing these guys, fought before a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Man, but this was fantastic. Man, just that. Someone remind me what the hell happened, because I'm trying to go back and recap of where did Hirooki got busted open. So I mean, you want to take it away?
I was thinking that, like, I know he got busted open.
Yeah, he was bleeding through the mouth area.
But yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe it was that one. I know there was that one twist and shout where he didn't get it completely fully through, and it was kind of like a halfway twist and shout. Maybe his elbow hit his mouth.
Yeah, it wasn't like it came from like a move. It looked like something might have just went wrong, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look for, and I couldn't really find what was it. That
and I thought it kind of added to the match even more, because he's like, and then he goes like this, and you see him go like this, getting ready for the kick, and then he has the blood trickling down his mouth to his chin, and it makes that move even better towards the end.
Can I just say, all right, so last week on the Circle Debate, the Thursday episode, remember I was saying how Jon Moxley bleeds every match, and when you're bleeding every match, it doesn't add to the matchup because it's expected.
Yeah,
this is what I was talking about. Like when it comes once in a while, and then you have the moment of Goto bleeding and setting up for his finisher, and you're not expecting to see much blood because you don't get it much in New Japan. That's what I'm saying. That's when it really adds to a matchup, whether it's blading or it's hard way, it adds to the matchup. So I think that's what, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. If you do it too much, it takes away from the effect. But for sure, this was awesome.
Yeah. And Goto with the win, upsetting Tanahashi, which I know you were excited. I was stoked when I saw the pin. I was like, no.
I was so happy.
I was
especially because I just covered the TNA Lockdown 2006 show on the Wrestling Delorean over here on the Circle Debate. And Hirooki Goto was a part of Team Japan because they had the World X Cup, and he was one of the young lions at the time. So, to see that this week and then to see this matchup, it was awesome because it was full circle. This was a phenomenal matchup.
This was brutal, just how much they were just hitting each other and the moves, and I love seeing this gritty Hiroshi Tanahashi, where he's not just the babyface, but he's going out there hitting these big time moves. They made this into a grudge match. Both guys respect each other, but this was like a big time grudge match. It went kind of long, but I loved every part of it. Tanahashi had the match in the beginning, but then Goto came back towards the end and pulled it out with those last second moves.
In my opinion, this matchup was a lot better than their Dominion matchup about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
This was they beat the shit out of each other in this matchup. They beat the shit out of each other. But I think that it was amazing and awesome to see Goto go over here and beat Tanahashi, because I feel like every time they get together, Tanahashi always wins. And it annoys me. I like Tanahashi, but I'm a big Goto fan. So it annoys the shit out of me. So I'm glad that Goto got this big win. He got it with a finisher, so that puts over the GTR as well. So that was a big victory and a big moment for Goto. And he stays alive in the tournament.
Absolutely. And not only that, today marks the day that he wins the G1. Against Makabe, I think it was who you defeated.
Going back.
So, yes, going back, man. That was But man, fantastic, main event for him, and congrats again for Goto for putting another phenomenal matchup against Tanahashi here. Now let's move on to night 16. We're almost there. We're trying to break it down as much because we want to get to the end because that's where the anticipation comes. But yes, night 16 recap. Hinare, Kenta, who technically they're both eliminated already. Yano, of course, is eliminated, but Jeff Cobb needs to, obviously need to win to stay, alive in the A block. Shingo as well needs this win, as well as Yujiro, because if he wins too, he can stay on. Yoshihashi versus Will Ospreay and Taichi versus Jay White. Taichi needs this win, so it could be almost close to a tiebreaker. And of course, Yoshihashi needed this win as well. So now let's get into the first match of it, which, of course, it's all about pride. But I can tell you that this one right here, the C block, which it doesn't, it gains some points, it gains some pride, it gains some of these performance. I would say Hinare versus Kenta here. Of course, Kenta winning. Of course, this one was game over. But I'll give it to Hinare. The fact is that, since day one, I think we said it when we began, even with the predictions, Hinare was an underrated star. And throughout this whole G1, he has delivered. And I'm hoping that the fans and, could be fans of Hinare, as a matter of fact, because he delivered throughout the whole G1. He's impressed everybody.
He made a fan of me.
Oh yeah, he made a fan of me.
And you got to see his full moveset. Well, I feel like we've seen him wrestle, but I feel like we haven't seen like the full repertoire. And you finally get to see it here. You finally get to see him do, like, of course, you got the what was it? The full Nelson choke. He's got that. Yeah. You get to see the Streets of Rage. You get to see one of my favorite, the spinning back kick to the stomach that he lands on his opponent. And he landed it to the outside while Kenta was along the outside post. That made me cringe so much when he landed that, and he landed it several times. And then you even got him like the senton splash standing, and then he does it off the top rope. Like, you see a lot more of him, and it's great. And then even though he lost, I thought it was a good sign that he didn't get mad. Like, he wanted to get mad at the ref again, because he's always like I told you last week, he always seems to get red, and then that's how he loses. He didn't get red here and lost. He wanted to, but he kept his calm. He didn't do it. It's just that the turn of the match was when was when he goes to do the full Nelson choke, and then of course Kenta grabs the body of the ref with his legs to keep him from being able to fully do the choke, and then he has to drop him, and then that's kind of what took the ref out of the match for a little bit, and then Kenta got like sneaky and brought the match into his side of things, and then he got, just like you said, he hits the go to sleep for the victory.
No. Game over. He submitted.
Game over. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Game over.
Yes. Well, De Niro, take it away.
First off, shout out Dirty Heels and shout out Wrestling Rewind. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. It finally came to me. I'm watching Hinare's entrance with the trench coat and the gloves and the glasses. Yo, this motherfucker looks like a villain out of the Matrix. Like,
yes, he does.
Doesn't he not? Like,
he does. Hey, you know what? He can look like fucking Morbius, man, with fucking hair. He can look like Morbius with hair. I'm sorry. I mean, he does. Jesus. But
I like this matchup a lot. I like lately it feels like Kenta is going back to like his pro wrestling Noah style, and that was when I was a huge fan of Kenta. So especially like fighting against like these bigger guys and breaking them down to size. I like that style of matchup for Kenta. This matchup was good. Aaron Hinare definitely made a fan of me in this tournament because like he was a guy I wasn't so familiar with. I've seen his matches, I've seen his tag matches, but like Dan said, you never really got to see his full repertoire of what he could do in the ring. And after seeing like his moveset, I just feel like this guy is, a complete package. And within like a year or two, I could see him being upper mid card or possibly main event. He has that in him.
I told you, never openweight champion. That's what I want.
It's a good call.
Give me what I want.
Oh shit!
Oh, here comes Batista.
Give me what I want.
There we go.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see here. Yes, to know you might.
Facts, right?
Oh Oh man, and then we get into, of course, the next following matchup here, which is
talking about entertaining.
This is entertainment right here. I can tell you that. As you had Toru Yano versus Jeff Cobb in the A block. Of course, Jeff Cobb waiting for Yano, but of course, Yano did not come out at all until he sneaked out of nowhere as the referee did his count out. But man, it was funny because seeing Jeff Cobb also mimicking Toru Yano, which I'm looking for the picture right now. I'm actually going to upload it right now.
With the shirt and the spray bottle.
Hey, yes, he did a fantastic job. I got to give it to Cobb, man. He really entertained me in this match. Look at this. Oh, my God. He literally covered Toru Yano. But then Yano, of course, getting upset. He really
this was gold.
Oh, that was golden. Really wrapped, Cobb's arm on his tights, in his own tights. And then with the ring apron, he's like, where are you going? I'm going to count you out. But made it in time. And, of course, Yano mimicking Jeff Cobb with the surf's up, dude, right on top of him. Look at it. Jesus. But, of course, Jeff Cobb with the win with the tour of the islands. And, of course, getting his 2 points because he needs to stay alive in this block. Yano's eliminated completely. So, this, it is what it is with Yano here. But, of course, Yano's entertainment. You can't go wrong with Yano. So, Dan, take it away.
Yeah, and then you had all that happen, but then when Jeff Cobb took over, he puts the shirt over Yano's face so then he can't see. I believe he clotheslines him, picks him up, throws him against the ropes, and then does the tour of the island. So it wasn't too long of a match, but a lot happened in that short amount of time.
4 minutes,
and he was able to get the victory here. But it was just so funny. He's so innovating how he puts his hands in his ring gear, and then he wraps him up like a burrito in the side of the ring.
Yeah, the ring apron.
Yeah, and because it looked like it just got stuck to him, and then he had to have kind of like the young lion pull one of his arms up so he could get up and jump in at 19, but then he still had his arms inside of his ring attire. So it was like he had to wait until he was out there. Then he was having the ref going, pull me out as he's getting hit. So it was just really funny. I want to be there when he's coming up with these ideas, and then he's telling it to Cobb, and they're trying to formulate this because I can only imagine how much they were laughing putting this match together.
Oh, man, indeed. I want to see Yano here for Strong one day, man. He's coming to the States, and he can pull that off. Oh, man, I will laugh. Jeez.
It's funny because Yano's been around for a hot minute, and he's still finding innovative ways to make us entertained. So that's kudos to him, for sure.
Well, take it away, Dylan.
This matchup was just pure comedy, and I loved every second of it. It was short and sweet, but like Dan said, they packed a lot in it. That I love the spot, when Cobb does eventually get into the ring, he's still stuck there, allowing Toru Yano to do the surfs up on him. It was just pure entertainment, but I'm glad that Cobb got the victory. It's just that you can never go wrong with a Toru Yano matchup. He's so entertaining.
Oh, man, indeed, absolutely. Never go wrong with that. And then, of course, we have match 3 of night 16. Of course, Shingo Takagi versus Yujiro Takahashi. In the D block, of course, 2 men need to win, of course, because you are not entertained. Really? Oh, come on. That's from Gladiator.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Oh no.
Are you not entertained?
Oh man, but this match was it was a classic. But this match was it was slow in the beginning for me, but then it obviously started picking up, and then with the interference of the show, and it was just back and forth, hard hitting for Yujiro. Another one who is underrated and actually put quite a performance in this G1 overall, Yujiro, and really made a name for himself in this tournament. And even though he did not pick up the win, Shingo with the last of the dragon, getting his 2 points here in this tournament to stay alive and to be actually one of the leaders in this D block tournament. But overall, I give it to hands up to Yujiro. He did a fantastic job throughout the whole tournament. He, besides his entertainment size, his pimp size, Godfather pimp side, but overall, his in-ring skills really showed me a lot. And I'm hoping to see a lot more of Yujiro in title contentions like Never Open Win as well, or even the IWGP US title, I wouldn't mind. Or give him the KOPW freaking title. I don't care. Something that he can run with, because it's about damn time we see Yujiro with some sort of gold around his waist, or even just holding it. So I mean, that's just. But hands down to Yujiro for doing a great job. But yes, my best play. All right, but Big Dan, take it away, brother.
Yeah, we had Yujiro who's trying to use everybody in his back pocket to try and pick the victory here. He uses Peter on the outside. He's recovering from getting hit to the outside. You got Shingo come to the outside, and she goes right in front of him. She's trying to flirt with him. He's like, no. She goes to move over to grab Takahashi. She moves in front of him again, and then he gets pushed, but then he kind of recovers a little bit. But then, of course, it was just a matter of time before Sho pops up towards the end of the match again. He pops up there. You see Shingo take over at the match again, and he goes to go do the clothesline, and he stops, and he sees that Sho's about to go out there and hit him with the chair, and he's like, oh, no, and he stops. He gets hit, but he could have got hit with the chair if he would have gone for the run to the ropes to go for the clothesline. So then he goes to the other side, hits the clothesline, and then that's when everything goes a mess. You had Yujiro knocked down, distracts the ref, and then Sho comes in and throws the chair at Shingo, but then Sho goes and throws it a little bit later back at him, and then hits Takahashi, and then finishes him with, I believe, not made in Japan, the Last Dragon, right? I think that's what he finished with
the Last Dragon.
This matchup, and he gets the pin. He had to recover from 3 people coming after him to get the victory, and he kept himself at the leaderboard just there, because at the time now he's tied with I think Finlay, but Finlay still has the tiebreaker, so he keeps himself on pace with the leaderboard now with the victory. And then I looked out the whole matchup, because I believe El Phantasmo was on commentary, and they're talking about the chaos of the D block and what they need to do to have that 7 wrestler chaos finish, where all of them finish with 6 points, and they're just coming out with each scenario. And I thought that was a really good. No, it was Dave Finlay. Dave Finlay was on commentary. That's who it was. And Dave Finlay was like, shit. He was like, I got to root for Takahashi in this one. And then he goes, go Yujiro. He was like, but then Shingo picks up the victory. It was an entertaining match.
Yeah, definitely. De Niro.
I like the story that was told in this match with Yujiro Takahashi trying to stay alive and doing everything he can to stay alive by having everybody, just interfere and pull out all the stops. I thought that was cool. And still in the end, he still wasn't able to beat Shingo, which I think is the right thing to do. Like, Shingo was the right guy to go over, in my opinion. But definitely a good showing for Yujiro. I think that Yujiro is a guy who's been around forever. And like you said, Ivan, does deserve a bit more of a push, because not only has he been around, but he's been consistent. He's never put on bad matches. So I don't think he gets enough shine. So definitely, good showing in this tournament for Yujiro, but he is finito.
Yes. Basically, he is pretty much out of this one with this loss. So, I mean, technically he's...
Well, no. He was still in it at this point.
Oh, wait, no, you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because the whole 6-point chaos.
So he is not finito. I take that back.
He's not finito yet. Okay. You're right. Yeah, I was looking at it right now. So he's 3-3 at this point, 6 points each for Shingo and for Yujiro. All right. Yeah. So, okay. Oh, see. All right. Now we get into match number 4, and that is, of course, my favorite match of the night, because this one was like, woo! Banger, baby. I love it. Yes. Hell yes. Oh, tell him, Blue. Tell him, Blue.
Hell yes.
That is right, because I love Yoshihashi. But I mean, at this point, Yoshihashi was already, pretty much banged up in this, matchup. His shoulder. I mean, even Kevin Kelly was mentioning it on the Observer, mentioning about Yoshihashi, that he's been banged up, and that shoulder, it's a legit. And he praised Yoshihashi for competing in the tournament still. I mean, with the hell of a bad injury here. I mean, it's just man, seeing Yoshihashi, look at that. Oh, that shoulder looks horrible. And of course, oh man, Michinoku driver, and of course, Ospreay was a reverse, and of course, with the sweet, with the super kick. Oh man,
fuck it, just play the matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
because I'd rewatch it. I'd rewatch that in a heartbeat.
Oh man, and then Will Ospreay with the win with the hidden blade, and that is nasty hidden blade. And the way how he caught him though, because I think he was trying to go for karma.
The reversal, yeah.
His reversal, and then just I was like, oh, I cringed. I literally fucking cringed, and I was like, oh,
out of nowhere.
We
say it every week. We say it for
stop blocking me with that shit.
Can I just say too, like, 3 men on this night had to fight the next night as well, and Jeff Cobb had a bit of a easier style matchup with Yano. But Taichi and Yoshihashi had to fight the next night, and they both put on bangers in their matches and had long competitive matches. So shout out to both Yoshihashi and Taichi.
Oh, man. Definitely, man. That was another one that I enjoyed. But, yes, I mean, look, I always tell everybody, anybody who faces Yoshihashi, do not challenge him on chops. Don't do it. Don't not do it because, man, the man got a size of a hand and will need a mark.
He was even chopping his shoulder because he's like, come on, where
to
wake it up, and then he did the clothesline.
Yeah, that's the Japanese Gunther.
Yeah, but he was definitely feeling it, like just because of all the damage that he's taken. He's been in a lot of time, just like last year. Last year, I think he had the most minutes in the G1, and he was probably up there for this one too. And he gave him it all, like especially at the end when he hit him with those 2 sweet chin music kicks, and you thought that he was going to go and hit the karma, but then he couldn't pick it up because of his shoulder. Yeah. And then that's kind of where Ospreay took over and was able to reverse right into the hidden blade, and it just came out of nowhere. It was like you said, it was like boom. Hidden blade 1, 2, 3, and he was just done. He looked spent. And then, of course, what I liked about it was afterwards, where you had Ospreay look at Finlay, and then he comes over and he was like, after this is over, remember, you did beat me. He was like, you get that first shot. He was like, and I'm going to get you then. He was like, I'm going to expose you for who you are. He was like, you got lucky against me, but you're not going to get that lucky next time. And then Finlay was like, just go off. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, we're going to see something that now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I mean, I love that sportsmanship. I love the fact that Will Ospreay did not forget that, hey, you owe me one, motherfucker. Shit, you took away I took that L. I need that W back. So, I mean, I'm happy to see that Will Ospreay at least has los cojones to get in there and challenge him for the, IWGP championship. But De Niro, take it away.
This matchup was just amazing. This was my favorite matchup of the night for sure. I love this matchup. The chemistry between these two is insane. And they both, like, the fighting spirit was on full display for both men because they were just going to war. That's what I wrote down here. Like, it was an absolute war. But
it was.
In the end, Will Ospreay wins with the hidden blade out of nowhere. That's like the New Japan RKO, right? It's out of nowhere.
God, hell yeah.
But I'll tell you this, like, I feel like this is more out of nowhere because I did not expect him to reverse the karma right into the was he going for karma or no? All I know is
he went for the karma.
He landed on his feet and then just instantly hit that hidden blade. It was nasty. Big victory for Will Ospreay. I'm a big Will Ospreay fan. I lost for words, man. Like I said, I'd be willing to go back and watch this matchup again. Like, it was that good. That good.
Oh, man, indeed. It was that good. And, man, match of the night for that one, of course.
Hell yeah.
Then we get into the final match of main event for the night, 16, and that is, of course, we have Taichi versus, of course, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, the Rock and Roller, the last Rock and Roller, of course. It still is there, Jay White here. And, of course, Taichi needed this win to stay alive in the B block. But unfortunately, he fell short to Jay White losing, of course, with the Switchblade, of course, the Blade Runner here. And Jay White advances. And for a minute, I thought they were going to take away Makabe. I'm like, trying to kidnap. Oh, yeah, I'm taking you with me. I'm like, no. I mean, I saw that. I mean, seeing Gate over there, getting a hold of Makabe, like, oh, man. But good sportsmanship for, seeing towards the end, I know that I'm noticing Taichi's changing little by little. He's not that arrogant, evil anymore he used to be. He's really coming in. And you know what I really want to see, though? I think, I as much as I don't want to say this, but I really would like to see Taichi and Sonata form a tag team. I think it's about damn time those two actually come together because they have a lot of respect towards each other.
You have them leave their stables?
That's where it hurts me, though. Like, they leave their stables and then they become a tag team and create their own. And like, oh, it'll hurt, but at the same time, it'll be great. Because those were the last two students, I believe. I don't know, not Inoki, someone else. I don't know who.
Well, they both came from All Japan.
Yeah, there you go, from All Japan. But I don't know who
they were students of Great Muta.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes, you're right. Great
Keiji Muto. Yep.
Keiji Muto. Yes, because of course Sonata with the moonsault. But man, all I can say, no, look at Makabe, no. Oh, I thought they were going to do that.
Better be careful before you get Me Too.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, man, Jay White has the greatest Yonari of all time, man. Man.
And don't forget that Conrado was the one who helped him out when they go behind Gato, and Gato was like, I didn't do anything. And then Conrado knew not to touch him. He was just staying there just to scare him. And that's what kind of ended that part of things. But like just like you said, I feel like once a guy gets like a championship, it kind of changes him a little bit. You've seen that with both Yoshihashi and with Taichi. They've changed a little bit. They've kind of bulked up a little bit more. They're more confident. They're more aggressive. They feel themselves even more, and then they start putting on these great matches. He did that well here. I thought he meshed well with Jay White here. Of course, they paid off the whole thing where every match in the G1, Jay White has been systematically attacking a part of his opponent's body to take away from him. And in this one, they said he was attacking the throat because he wants to get Taichi tired. He wants to get the cardio down because he's well built. He doesn't really have like anything crazy to attack, other than he could have attacked the legs because those leg kicks were just killing Jay White to the back of the of his leg. And then you definitely do that after that matchup. If Jay White didn't come out of that unscathed, like he was beat up, like he could barely move. He used every inch of energy that he needed to win against Taichi. And I thought Taichi was going to get it. He had him up for the Black Mephisto, and then boom, that transition from the Mephisto to the Blade Runner was just pinpoint. He made it look flawless, and I was just, geez, I'm like, that looked great. And then he didn't even win there because he had so much energy. He had to get up. He couldn't even pin him there, and then he gets up. He grabs him. He barely grabs him. He goes to the ropes. To use the ropes to get up. And then he goes. Something happens where Taichi's fighting him. And then he's like, fuck this. And then he just pulls him over, does it, and then falls on top of him. Yes. And then like he might as well just passed out there after the 3 count because they were done. That was a long, hard-fought matchup. But like I was invested into it because there was like different points in the matchup that you could go to and you'd be like, okay, they're doing this here. They're doing this year, and then this year. It was like a beginning, middle, and end, and they told a story there.
Absolutely. And wanted to say, Taichi, another underrated star. Yeah. And, man, this guy throughout the tournament, another one, incredible, just good overall, man. Best show, best performance in every matchup and has gone over at least 10 minutes. This one was 23 minutes, but he showcased himself that he could be a main event player, especially going up against Jay White. So, man, I can't. Gato, I know you're fucking in charge of booking. Start booking now. Your future. You've been holding these guys for a long time. Below, it's time to fucking step them up. Fresh faces now. Fresh main event faces.
And I think
Taichi's one of them.
And I think that's what they're doing because, of course, it looks like maybe Ishii's going to make that move to to senior citizen status. That's what I like to call where he just does the matches where he puts over, where he wrestles the young lions because he's past that point where he can't do like the rigorous schedule. So he does like the lighter schedule where all he does is those beginning matchups to where he does that or he goes up against bigger upcoming talent and puts them over. I think he's making that move now and that transition. So this is a great thing to where you see Yoshihashi, you see
they're cycling them.
Taichi, and now they're going to start cycling people up.
I could see. I noticed that too. I see like Ishii playing the role like you remember like right before Manabu Nakanishi he retired. He was like a veteran, former champion too. But towards the end of his career, like he was just like fighting some of the young lions and getting the young guys over. I see Ishii taking that step of being that next guy to do that. But this matchup was really good. It was a really good main event. I love the story that they told too. Like you guys said, like at the end, Jay White could barely hit that Blade Runner. He couldn't even stand up, and that's because of how exhausted he was in this matchup. And to have somebody like Taichi take your world champion to the limit like that only shows that he can hang in that main event. So like this could have been the main event of Dominion or Wrestling Dontaku or one of those shows, and I would have been happy with it because he took your champion to the limit. So for sure, I'm with Taichi taking that next level too. This matchup was really good, and I also see what Ivan was saying about Taichi's style kind of changing. It's like less heelish and more of like that fighting spirit that you see in the baby faces. So I could see like coming out of this tournament, we have like a new baby face. I just think that he had a good showing for this tournament.
I love that. I love that Samoan style. He just gets out on the one and then he hits his opponent with the elbow. I love that little because it's so different, and I like how he uses it more now, and it's become like a staple of his repertoire where he wants to showcase it, and it's a really cool move.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, now we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there. Night 17 now, because this is where it is crucial. This is where it matters, because I would explain right now, Yoshihashi, Finlay needs to win in order to pretty much win the D block here. But we'll get into that. We're going to have Taichi versus Great Khan, Tom Lawlor versus Jeff Cobb, and Tanahashi, who needs this win to stay alive as well in the C block tournament. Versus the spoiler, or maybe not spoiler, Kenta. The rematch, the anticipation we've been waiting for since Wrestle Kingdom. This is revenge, get it or not. But let's jump right into it now. And as we get into it here, Yoshihashi versus David Finlay in the D block tournament. Like I said, once again, Finlay needs an upset to get his 8 points to win the block, and then he's in the final 4. But unfortunately, that was spoiled by Yoshihashi, who won the match with the go in chaos. And it's chaos everywhere. Even Finlay was shocked. And I thought it was a turn heel when he dropped the chalet. He's like, you son of a bitch, you want to hit him. But no, he didn't. So it looks like Finlay is out. Did not make it. Did not get the leading board at all. Yoshihashi with 6 points now too. They're tied up because it's still 7-way tie because we're still not there yet. But we're gonna get into that. But this is crucial for both of these guys because it's do or die now. But man, take it away, Big Dan. Your thoughts on this opening?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say because I'm just gonna say the same thing that I said in this match as I did with Finlay's matchup against El Phantasmo. He came in, I think, just with the wrong game plan. He was controlling the matchup. He did a great job, and then he just, boom, out of nowhere, he gets rolled up again. 2 straight roll-up losses for him, basically in a row. And it took him from being the clear-cut leader at 3-1 to now at 3-3. And it's crazy to think about. Like, you look at the 3 wins that he has: Juice, Shingo, and then, of course, Ospreay, the big one. And then you look at the 3 losses: Yoshihashi, El Phantasmo, and Yujiro Takahashi. It's like, what just happened? It's like like you look at it, it's like night and day with the tournament. That's what makes this tournament even greater, is the fact that you can have him have those huge wins in the middle, but then lose these matchups that he should win because of his personality change and the way that he's handled himself in the ring is not, I wouldn't say, like I said, cocky, but just for himself. But he was a little too confident. He took it a little bit lightly, and he knew that Yoshihashi had taken a lot of damage the day before, and I felt like he took him a little bit too lightly, and then Yoshihashi took advantage of it and gets him with the roll-up here, and then that's where, like we said, the D block is in chaos. And
fucking chaos, man.
Everything's open now.
Yeah, it was open fucking door. I can tell you that. I'm pretty. But by fucking seeing Finlay's face, he was.
I cannot believe this shit.
Oh, I know. You better believe that shit.
He said, "Fuck it, I'm not resigning."
That's probably what happened. I'm not resigning. Fuck this shit.
You're gonna have to defend that belt on the Dynamite,
right?
Take it away.
Hey, I mean, Will Ospreay's gonna be on Dynamite next week. But, Yoshihashi just came off of a war 24 hours before this matchup, so for him to win this matchup was big for him. As for Dave Finlay, like, it was sad for me because, like, I ended up changing my pick halfway through. I was like, shit, I would like to see Dave Finlay win this whole thing. At one point, like a couple weeks ago, I was saying here that he was the MVP of the tournament, in my opinion, especially when he picked up that string of wins against Rock Hard, Shingo, and then Ospreay, because those 3 wins were huge for him. Definitely a great show for him, and I think he was one of the shining lights of this tournament and showed that he could go off and be a major player in New Japan if he does, or if he did resign. Because I think at this point he probably did resign, because you don't have somebody just go through your top guys if you're not signed with the company. So I'm going to guess that he resigned, which is good because I want to see him now elevated, because I think that he proved that he could wrestle an elevated game in New Japan and was a real MVP for this tournament. But big win for Yoshihashi playing the spoiler, because Yoshihashi was not even in it in this tournament. But at the end here, he was, even though he wasn't in the tournament, he was in the tournament, but his points was like eliminated him from the tournament at this point. He was still able to play spoiler against a guy who could have used that victory to go to the finals. So I thought that was interesting that you had it played out that way. But for sure, Yoshihashi had a great showing, and so did Dave Finlay. So great showing for both of them.
I almost took into the hype like you did. But when I saw the fact that he gave Ospreay the belt back and he was like, I want the first shot, at that point I knew, okay, he's not winning the G1 there, because they're putting way too much emphasis on David Finlay with that U.S. title to have him win the D block. It just wouldn't make sense. Maybe they would have had him win the D block, but I felt like they weren't going to do it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, they're enhancing him a little bit. Now he's getting that rub too. Like, they're pushing him up the ladder now. Just like we're saying with Taichi and Yoshihashi, he's going from a tag team guy to a singles guy again, and he's going back to that U.S. title picture that he's known to be at in the past. So they're putting him back into that spot, and they want to make him relevant and give it a reason why they're going to give him a shot. And that's why he beat Shingo, Juice, and then Ospreay. It's like, you beat those 3, you deserve a title shot. So they did that, and then you have to make it give it a good reason as to why he loses the lead, and what better way than 2 roll-ups. So even though he beats these big guys, he loses in a way to where it kind of protects him, where he's not getting beat. He
wasn't convincingly beat.
It was just like these roll-ups that these guys got over on him when he's dictating the pace of the match.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, then we get into the second match here. Of course, mathematically, these 2 guys are already out, but I mean, this is the last time that we're going to see these guys, of course, in the G1. Taichi versus Great-O-Khan. Of course, Great-O-Khan, 7-minute matchup. Pretty much, it was just oh, I'm gonna be in the ground, and you're gonna beat me down the ground. No, the ref got tired. Get your asses up. Let's wrestle. Let's fight.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, very quick a pancake hold. Great-O-Khan pinning Taichi. I mean, I know people were disappointed seeing Taichi, of course, with 2 and 4 along with Great-O-Khan. But like I said, shout out to these two. I mean, there's nothing much we can really talk about here, but I mean, just shout out to both of them, man. At least they showed out to all of us, to even current fans and new fans of the G1. I mean, these two guys, keep an eye on them in the near future. They're really going to do something. I guarantee you that.
I think this was just them trying to give Great-O-Khan another win here. They wanted to give him a good look. They were showcasing him doing the claw, holding Taichi down along his knee, just pressuring it down. And then after just going almost 30 minutes against Jay White, you knew that Taichi was spelt to begin with, and you wanted to kind of play it off even more where Great-O-Khan just took advantage of it, and that's how he picked up the victory, just taking advantage of an already spelled out Taichi who didn't have that much left in the tank, and he gets it, and then he can barely get up afterwards, and he wanted to get up, and even after the 3 count, and then you see Great-O-Khan go like this, stands there in the sumo position, but then he's like, okay, he's just trying to get up, and then goes from there and gets the 2 points, and it's like, yeah, this guy had enough. This guy couldn't give any more effort left into that match than he had because of the night before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not much to say for this matchup. Definitely, shout out to Taichi for putting on a war the night before and then having this really good matchup, like this quick little matchup with Great-O-Khan. I think that just overall, they both had good showings in the tournament, and I feel like this tournament birthed a lot of new stars. So I really like that, and I think that these were two guys who had a bright light shine on them. So nice to see them go one-on-one, even though they were both out of it at this point. Nice to have this little matchup.
Indeed. Speaking of, brightening stars, this matchup right here, on the Block 8 tournament here, Tom Filthy Lawlor and, of course, Jeff Cobb. They're both basically, I mean, Lawler is fighting here to stay, to stay in the hunt. And, of course, Lawler with the biggest upset in this G1, defeating Jeff Cobb with the NKO eliminating Jeff Cobb. He is officially out of the A block. And, of course, Lawler with this upset. Once again, another fantastic job for Lawler, man. This really showcased. And here's one thing. Here's the catch to this. No pun intended, because I know that Jeff Cobb was a Greco-Roman wrestler and a catch wrestler. But, of course, I mean, you had two ground type of professional wrestlers going at it with each other in this matchup, man. And this showcase, now we get to see what Jeff could do on the ground, because you technically don't really see that much from Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
We do, however, we see it with Lawler. And pretty much Lawler's the one challenging him for this. And by seeing this, Lawler with this upset, with this win, I mean, shit, look at that. Oh! Okay, TV, that's it, baby. Yeah. That's it.
That's called the did they name that the straight jacket elbow?
Straight jacket, yeah.
Okay.
Straight jacket knockout. Yeah, because he grabs you with a straight jacket and then bam! That's it. It's over.
I was just thinking this. If I ever get married again, I want to walk out to the Team Filthy's theme song. I just want to walk out and then go like this, and then get to the center dance floor and just go, and then just.
Don't trip. We'll be there.
Take off the tuxedos. You have the little denim underneath.
Yeah, and then go.
He's gonna take off the fucking tuxedo, be the denim there.
And I'm gonna have somebody holding like a boombox and dress up as with Royce Isaac in the denim tracksuit. but I just like how, I just love the one points in this matchup that were cringing me was just every time Tom Lawlor would put the arm lock on, or he had the ankle lock, or he had the arm bar on. Every time he did that, he just left his side of his ribs open to where Jeff Cobb would just elbow him, or punch him there. And I'm just like, oh, that must hurt so much. And Tom Lawlor was taking like 4 or 5 of them before you would let go. But he was just systematically breaking down Jeff Cobb, just little by little. Just this arm here, right there, he had the Kimura on him. Then he would switch over to the other one. Then he'd attack the legs. He would do those German suplexes. He did a couple of them. Those leg kicks right there where he would just pop up and do the leg kick. He did them 3 times. He just wore out Jeff Cobb. He tired him out to the point where he could barely get up. And then that's when, I forget what the transition was. He did the one move, and then Jeff Cobb was barely getting up. And then that's when he did the straight jacket elbow and just finished him. Yeah. And he didn't need any help. Like, it was just him. Like, Royce Isaac didn't play a factor into this matchup, which was great. He was just there to hype up the crowd. And then he picks up the victory. This was that big win over here that Tom Lawlor needed, because he was able to, they said it, like, he started out kind of slow, but then he won, I think, his 2 of the last 3 matchups, with the big one against Jeff Cobb. And then he put on a great showing, even in the loss against Okada. So he built himself, like we said with the Okada match. He built himself. He put on 2 top-notch performances against Okada and Jeff Cobb. I had Jeff Cobb coming out of this in the beginning, and he goes 3-3 in the block and only gets 6 points, which is crazy to think that.
Yeah, but the problem is that he gets eliminated because the loss that he has, not me to Lawlor, but I thought and to Jonah. And so he's that got him out. Yeah. He needed to win in order to stay alive.
Yeah. Had Okada lost to Tom Lawlor could have advanced. He could have advanced and had a chance to, because he would have been 4-2 instead of 3-3. Yeah, but like that just makes me want to see him wrestle even more over in Japan. See what he can do afterwards. Like, I'm just like, I need more of Tom Lawlor now. Like,
all right, De Niro.
I really love this matchup, especially we saw a more serious side of Tom Lawlor. And on top of that, I believe this is the 3rd time that these guys wrestled, because they had a match in MLW, their first show back. I believe it was MLW in 2017, one shot, right? Yes. It was Tom Lawlor's first wrestling match, too. It was against Jeff Cobb. And then I believe they faced in, didn't they face off in GCW Bloodsport? They had one of those matches.
They faced off. I think they faced off against each other in the tournament for the New Japan Strong Openweight title.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also they fought in GCW Bloodsport, right? Yeah. So with this matchup being the biggest stage that these guys met on, like, I feel like you could see the growth of both Tom Lawlor and Jeff Cobb, like all those matches against each other, and then this matchup. This was just technically a masterpiece, in my opinion. Tom Lawlor is such a great wrestler, and I feel like when you look at guys who came from the MMA world and transitioned into pro wrestling, like, people don't give Tom Lawlor enough credit because he makes it look flawless, and he's entertaining too. He's got the character side down packed, but he could really go. And I love the way, like Dan said, how he systematically broke down Jeff Cobb to get this victory. It was just great to see, and I'm really happy to see Tom Lawlor get this rub, and I want to see more of him in New Japan, because this guy is a guy who deserves to be on a big stage. He needs to be on a big stage. He has the personality and the ability to be on a big stage, and proved in this tournament that he could go with the big boys. So for sure, I think that, he deserves to be brought back to New Japan in Japan, and hopefully they keep on using him. And the rest of the team, Filthy. I would like to see Royce Isaacs in New Japan more, and like even like the prelim tag matches, he's been showing out as well. So I think that it's really cool to see Tom Lawlor get this victory.
I agree. I mean, seeing the whole, I'm hoping we see the whole Filthy faction come over. I think that'll be great to see.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say, fuck you, Brian Alvarez. You doubted your fucking best friend. You said he's gonna be 5-1. Well, guess what? He was 3-3. You piece of shit. That's why you. I fucking
hype bomb.
Hype bomb. That's why I don't like you, Alvarez, because you're a jackass, and you're more of a jackass because you doubted your friend, your BFF that he could have this tournament, and he could have. This could have been a great upset of all time in the G1. Lawlor could have actually been winning this tournament.
Wait, Lawlor and Alvarez are BFFs?
Yes, because they're both an observer. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Along with
old
Dave.
buddy Dave. Yes, I know. And the main event for night 17. This is the crucial one because this is the rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. Because man. All I can say is that this matchup was
Such good shit.
because it was good shit storytelling. It was a lot of
aggression.
And it was a lot of ruthless aggression, I'll tell you that, because, like I said, this is do or die in the C block tournament for Hirooki Tanahashi. He needs this win in order to win the C block. He needs this win. But, of course, Kenta, who was officially out of the C block, could spoil it. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He fucking did. He got his revenge. He defeated Tanahashi, costing him to be officially out of the C block tournament, eliminating Tanahashi. And the world, the fans were just shocked. They were like, "Oh shit!" And the beatdown these two guys gave each other at the beginning of the matchup. Yeah. This was a hardcore match. This was not like your basic professional wrestling match. But man,
I'll tell you what, Kenta might as well put on his yellow and brown tights again because we got the old Kenta the last couple matches.
Yes,
we got Pro Wrestling Noah Kenta.
We did, and I think that was, man. Why is everybody busting a Thunder Liger, man? This is like Thunder Liger going to Kishi, Kishi Thunder Liger. It's like you're going to Noah Kenta, and that's what we saw here today. We did see that. I mean, we saw that, and man, oh my god. And just seeing this, man, I was gonna freaking look for the damn. I have the damn pictures here. Let me just put the fucking pictures. Jesus Christ!
We get to see the serious Kenta, not like the goofy, joking Kenta. And it was brought out of him from Tanahashi in the Wrestle Kingdom match, and you see there he brought out the weapons once the ref was out to get him back into it. But I just like the fact that you thought he was going to be done. He gets hit with the top rope splash. I believe Tanahashi goes to do it again, and he gets hit with the knees. And then that's when he kind of took over. And he knew that things were going to start to trickle. And he gets him in the end. You knew it had to happen because he wanted that revenge. He was very serious about this. This is the match that he wanted. And I like the little subtle move at the end. He gets the victory, and then he holds his book up. He gets the book, and he holds it up. And it's just like, yeah, I got a book out. Remember?
Oh, yeah, because he told a little kid, like, hey, bring me that book. And the little kid gives him that book. He's like, yeah, you see it. And he was promoting his fucking book after the match. Not even fucking talking about it. Look, I just beat the shit out of Tanahashi.
Yeah. You got to be your best salesman.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, that book made its rounds all G1. Just ask Naito. He brought it into matches that Kenta was even in to promote the book. I'm like,
it's like Yano's DVDs.
Yes. Everybody must say. Where's everybody's Hawaii shirts at? Just fucking wear them. Fucking must be Toru. Fuck that shit. Well, man, any final thoughts, Dan, on this matchup?
I'm just intrigued to see what they do next with Kenta. I'm like, where do you go next with them? Because he got hot. He finished with he started out slow, very cold, but then he finishes off with 2 straight wins. So it's like, and then he gets
big ones too. Yeah,
big wins. So he gets finishes with 6 points, and it's like, okay, where do we go from here with them? He's not going to be in the U.S. title picture yet. Does he go back into it? Does he do like a trios titles, or does he go to at some point go to the never open weight? There's a lot of capabilities for him to attack, or does he go over to AEW and test that out a little bit, or does he go to Strong? We haven't seen him reign Strong. I'd be intrigued to see if they take this winning streak and they put him over in Strong and see him say like challenge a guy like Fred Rosser or something like that. I'd be down to see that matchup.
Yeah, I don't think we saw enough of him in AEW.
Yeah.
He had that one match in AEW, but I thought that was really cool that he was there. I would like to see more.
And then I just thought about this. He lives in the U.S., so
yeah,
it would be easy for him to make that commute for New Japan Strong because he's already in the U.S. He commutes to Japan for these tours, and so I could see him doing like a couple of tours over here and doing tapings in the U.S.
I can book, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it.
Book it.
What the fuck is I say it? Then all right. I see either two scenarios in that. I think one, he's gonna finish what he started with Tanahashi at the September show, with the start of the show, and then he's gonna come to the dojo and finish where he started there, where he hasn't even finished, and that is Shibata Kenta. We need that.
Hit that Ned Flanders.
That.
Hit that Ned Flanders.
Yes, we do. Yes, that is Shibata. Because remember, he turned his back on Shibata, and the Shibata actually went over there. You motherfucker! And he went over there, and yeah, Shibata.
Son of a bitch.
That's right. And then of course, so I mean that could be the case, but there's two scenarios how you could book Kenta in this. And just to add on what De Niro said, you could also, in the rematch, if they book it for September show with Tanahashi and Kenta, you can have Kenta go back to those brown tights and says like, yeah, bring the old Noah Kenta. We could see that. I have a feeling that we might see that here. It's like your fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, because I'm intrigued because we're gonna have to.
It's like your fucking level, like your Super Saiyan level.
Because we're gonna have the crowds back where they can actually cheer.
Yes.
It's gonna be the Burning Spirit tour. You're gonna have the show at the end, and then right after that is of course they announced it. I think today the whole 2 nights in. UK, they're doing the Royal Crest 2, and it's going to be 2 nights.
2 nights. So looking forward for that.
But if Kenta came back out with those yellow and brown, man, I'd pop because I was a huge fan of Kenta back in the day. And I still am. That's why, every time he's in these matches, like I'm rooting for him because, I just remember how much I really enjoyed watching Kenta back in the day in his Noah days against guys like Takashi Morishima and guys like Kenta Kobashi. I love Kenta. So it's great to see him get a big victory here because I've been waiting for that big victory all G1 for him, against one of the top stars. And for him to beat Tanahashi, get his win back and hit him with the GTS, beat him clean too. It wasn't no tomfoolery. There was no interference, no bullshit. Beat him clean with the GTS. That was big for Kenta. So definitely they went to war and it was one hell of a matchup. I really enjoyed it and so happy to see Kenta win.
And I know you were shocked with the fight, just to know that just with his win, Tanahashi's officially out. He's officially out of the C block, and it shocked me. I was like, no fucking way that Tanahashi's out. I thought Tanahashi was gonna sneak this win and probably could have won the C block in this one, but it did not happen. Man, so Jesus, man, this is good. It's getting to there. It is time to get there. It is the big night that happened just a few hours ago. Night 18, ladies and gentlemen. Night 18. The finals of who goes to the Final Four. But before we do that, I don't get too amped up. I know I'm excited because I love this G1. But before, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our picks. I have them here.
I'm embarrassed.
Hey, so what? I'm embarrassed too.
Dan, you making that face for me. I know.
So we're gonna
God
start
damn
with
Sonata.
Look, we're start with the A blocks. What we pick. We'll go A to D. All right. Remember our picks, okay? Before we get into the card and match 18.
I remember.
So look at that right there. See, that was mine. I had Lawlor. I had Jeff Cobb. De Niro, you had Okada. You had Jonah. Dan, you had Okada, and you had Cobb. So we'll get into right now who won this one. So remember your picks. Remember that. Yeah. That was your picks. We'll get into when we're done with that. So that's block A, okay? That is block A. So let's get into Where's Block B? Show me Block B. I have it here somewhere. Let's see. All right. Block B picks that we chose in the beginning. When we get in the show. Here, come on. And there we go. Pick Sonata and Taichi. De Niro, you got Jay White, Sonata. Dan, you pick Tamatonga, Jay White. So remember that. Remember your pick. That's good. That's pick.
Your Photoshop skills is epic too, by the way.
Thank you. I'm learning as I'm going. Okay, and then let's go to this C block. And that is, I got Kenta, but he spoiled it, so I don't care. I'm happy. He spoiled it. But it's Zack Sabre. De Niro, you had Naito, Zack Sabre. Dan, you couldn't make up your mind. I remember.
Dan, you picked half the block, bro.
I was gonna say, did you get excited when he did mine?
I don't know. Because you're like, I don't know. Just fucking all three of them. You said you got Tanahashi,
throw it all in there,
and Zack Sabre. So remember those.
I was using the Steiner math there.
You were using the 33.5, but I deleted that. It was too much space.
Or in this case, it was the Jeff Cobb math.
There you
go. God, yeah, I saw that too.
And the block D, I had 3-2. See, I had EOP, Phantasmo, Will Ospreay, and Shingo. De Niro, you had Shingo, and you had Yoshihashi. Then you had Juice Robinson, El Phantasmo, and Shingo. So remember that. All right, man. It is fucking time to get into the final night of this tournament. The final night. Who goes and who is out? TKK.
Let's fucking go.
That's right.
We can have a whole podcast on this shit.
Yeah. Now, if only you could flip this backwards, because that's how that actually starts with the Juice and Ospreay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where we get the first matchup of the final night. Remember everybody here. Will Ospreay and Shingo are the leaders in this. If, however, Juice wins, then he's the tiebreaker. So if the tiebreaker would have happened, they would have gone the day, which is within our next few hours. It would have been like a triple threat or fatal four, depending, because they were deciding to do that, which is new to me, which I like, which I enjoyed. But yes, so Will Ospreay, if he wins this one, he wins the D block. Unless Shingo wins, then he is out. So now the results are in, ladies and gentlemen. As of course, Will Ospreay defeats Juice Robinson, wins the D block, but not yet. Not yet. What's going on, Kenny? This is
good, Kenny.
The Call Up Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But yes,
shouts to Kenny.
Man, all I can say, this was an 11-minute fast-paced show. Very quick, very opening. Juice Robinson went for the attack right away. Just beating the living shit out of Ospreay. That neck breaker to that. The steel rail. Oh man! And then he went with the pro friction, kicked out. This opening matchup was fucking off the chain, man. It was a fucking
highly anticipated too.
Man, total fucking banger, man. I just, Jesus, I have to fucking. I'm gonna look for this. Oh Jesus Christ! I have to put this picture up. No, hold on. Sorry, here we go. Oh, just look at this fucking neck breaker. I like this aggression of Robinson, just coming out of nowhere and just really putting it into Ospreay. And of course, right towards the end, we do, Robinson was close. Honestly, everybody was anticipating for Juice to win, especially now hitting him with the IWGP title, the US belt.
Yeah.
And, we thought it was going to be over. And then hitting him, of course, with the Pro Fiction. I think this is where he lost his momentum. Ospreay didn't stay on focus on the game. If he would have stayed focused, he probably could have won. But unfortunately, of course, your man, El Vato, of course, right here. And that is Will fucking Ospreay with the upset with the hidden blade, and it's
Really
over.
Not much of a hidden blade there, doing it in front of him.
He was dazed out because he pretty much he
It looks like he's ice skating there.
Yeah. And there you have it. He is officially the winner of the D block at this moment. But the next matchup will determine if he wins it or not. So take it away, Big Dan.
I like how, like, if you watch the prelims from yesterday, these guys came in with a lot of intensity because Ospreay and Hanari won their prelim match. They walk into the back, and all of a sudden you see Juice come out, hit. You see him hit Ospreay. Then he had Badlock Fale, Chase Owens, and ELP get Hanari. He does the pile driver onto the entranceway to him, and then he takes the belt. That's why he had the belt to begin with. So Juice Robinson's walking out with the belt into his entrance, and then that's when Ospreay gets revenge and hits him from behind there and gets the match started. He's wearing his T-shirt during the first couple minutes of the match because he came and attacked him right away and didn't even get an entrance. But one of the parts at the end that I really loved was the pile driver to the concrete by Juice Robinson. Then he picks him up on the inside and does the pulp friction right away. 1, 2, he kicks out. Everyone's like, oh my God, he kicks out of the pile driver and pulp friction combination. Everybody goes crazy. And then it just seemed like out of nowhere, he just gets out there. He counters Juice Robinson and hits the hidden blade in the front of him, gets the 1, 2, 3, and puts himself ahead at this point. He eliminates Juice there. It gets his belt back. But then I heard, I don't know if it's true, but did Juice get the belt right back in the backstage?
No. Backstage? I don't know. No, I
gotta look because somebody was telling me that Juice got the belt back, and I'm like, after the match,
playing hot potato.
Yeah, and I was like, if they did that, that's them doing. That's a lot of long-term storytelling with Juice, him, and Ospreay, because that'd be crazy. But this was a good finish. Like, you need Ospreay to win. I'm gonna say it now. I don't think he makes the finals. I think his storyline is in the U.S. title picture. But this was a good move to have him win the game momentum here after like the struggles that he went halfway through with the injuries and whatnot, and then he was able to move to the point where now as he needs help from El Phantasmo to advance.
Indeed. Oh man, what De Niro? The floor is yours, good man.
This matchup was a matchup I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's highly anticipated, even before the G1 started. Just because of the whole controversy surrounding the U.S. title with Juice not being able to defend it. Ospreay wins it at Dominion, doesn't have the title because Juice still holds the actual title. You had then Finlay beat Juice, take the title, but he's not champion. Then he beats Ospreay, gives it back to Ospreay. I think Juice got it back from Ospreay then. And then it's just been a crazy story that they've been.
And it all started at Budokan when he didn't show up.
So, it's been super crazy, but, I love that this matchup played out the way it played out. It was an absolute war, and because it was so anticipated, I was hoping it lived up to the hype, and it definitely did. This was a war, and I think the right guy went over. Good win for Will Ospreay, but Juice Robinson, another guy who had a hell of a tournament and showing he could go with the main eventers. Definitely a great show for Juice Robinson.
That's right, indeed. All right, now we get into the second match. This is where determined, because Will Ospreay is now sitting down and waiting. So the winner, if Shingo wins, Shingo advances. If Shingo loses, then Will Ospreay wins the D block. And of course, let's bring in the results for this matchup. Shingo Takagi versus El Phantasmo. Phantasmo's out, but he is the spoiler of this one, which it came down to, of course, this was anticipating. Just with the moonsault, did not get all of it, though, I'll tell you that. But
that was scary. He overshot that shit.
Yeah.
Way overshot it. And, of course, Shingo, coming. We see, of course, Will Phantasmo. And then, of course, we see Shingo coming back. And, of course, We do see Shingo coming back. And so, of course, Thunder Kiss, 1986, of course. And then the one that shocked me was this is where I know Phantasmo hit the CR2 once, but when he hit it again, he did it this devastating power driver style. It was a straight jacket power driver. And when the pin was 1, 2, and 3.
Teddy Hart used to do that shit. Crazy power driver.
And and then he named it the CR3.
Yes, the CR3. And man,
I can't wait for CR4.
This was the biggest win for El Phantasmo in his career, making his debut as a heavyweight in the G1, defeating a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Shingo Takagi is officially out. Will Ospreay wins the D block. He made it to the Final Four, thanks to El Phantasmo. Man, Big Dan, were you in shock?
I was in shock, and then one thing that I really laughed at was towards the end. At the end of the match, he's walking by the the Japanese commentary. He looks at Desperado, and he looks at him and he goes, "Goodbye forever, Despy. Goodbye." And then you see Despy get up. He's like, "Goodbye forever," and he just walks away. That's him kind of just foretelling that, okay, I'm not going to be a junior heavyweight anymore. I'm 4-time heavyweight now, and I'm going to compete in the heavyweight side of things now. So now this was his transition from junior heavyweight to heavyweight now, which was just about time. Like, he needed that change, but boy, like that CR3 landed so devastating, especially after him doing the CR2. You said it right. He did the Thunder Kiss. He tried to do the CR2 the first time. It gets countered, and then he gets clothesline. But then he counters. I think what he did with the CR3 with the CR2 was, I think he goes to do the sunset flip, moving over him, and then he just turns it into the from a pin into the CR2, lands it. You get the 2 count, and then he's like, okay, I got to do something else now. And he does a couple of moves. No, he did the two sudden deaths, and then he's like, okay, CR3 now. Instead of he makes it look like he's going to do the CR2, and then he's like, and then he just picks him up straight and drives him down. And I'm just like, geez. I was like, if he does that more, that is a devastating move. And I'm like, geez, there's no getting up from that. Like, this was just a back and forth matchup. Like, Phantasmo started out strong. Then it went to Shingo. Shingo had this like 5 to 8 minute span where he was just dominating the matchup, landing clotheslines, just landing those big power moves, because they made a mention that, he has the speed of a junior heavyweight, but then he has the power of a heavyweight. Like, he's the best of both worlds. But then for him to lose to El Phantasmo, it's kind of serendipitous, because El Phantasmo did both the junior heavyweight and the G1 tournament back to back. So it's kind of surreal that they're talking about this, but here goes El Phantasmo, who did both tournaments in a 2-month span. This guy was a workhorse. All those matches that he did between both, and he gets to end the tournament with this huge win over a guy like Shingo Takagi. I could see this transition into a KOBW match now between Phantasmo and Shingo, because he gets the victory. Because we have to remember, even though Shingo was doing everything with that, like Finlay and Juice and Ospreay, he is the KOPW champion, so he's going to have to defend it. What better way than to defend it than the guy that just beat him, cost them the spot in the G1 playoffs, than El Phantasmo?
That'd be a good spot for ELP, especially moving his way up to the heavyweight division, for sure.
Yeah, indeed. The floor, hermano.
I definitely think that this was a great matchup. El Phantasmo just pinned a former IWGP champion. Like, Shingo is a former IWGP champion. I always say former Dragon Gate heavyweight champion. Here's a guy who has held top gold in big companies, and El Phantasmo beat him. So what does that mean for El Phantasmo? I mean, like, he got to get that big push now. I think that it's good that he's staying in the heavyweights, and I think that he should get a push. He beat a former champion, and he played spoiler. Like this wasn't a matchup where it was like, there's other matches on this card where it's between two guys that are already out of it, and it's just for bragging rights. You know what I mean? This was a matchup that had big implications, and he spoiled Shingo's spot as the leader of the D Block. So big win for El Phantasmo. I think that was, especially that freaking CR3, nasty.
Oh my god, man!
Like I said, I seen Teddy Hart pull out that move one time on Jack Evans on a show, and I just remember saying like that move should not be even
Wrestling
legal.
Society X.
Yeah. Like that move should not even be legal because the fact is, like, you have no way of protecting your head. Like your arms are tucked in, and then you're getting like dropped with the pile driver, nasty. But if El Phantasmo could use this as his finisher, and he could continue using this against bigger guys like Shingo, I think that it could be his like secret weapon to get victories in the heavyweight division.
Oh man, indeed. And of course, like I said, I mean, this with the loss of Shingo losing this, he is officially out. And the winner, of course, is Will Ospreay is your winner of the D Block. So he advances to the final four. And so he is one of the first ones to be announced as the winner. And of course, who had Will Ospreay?
The devious one.
Me! Me!
It was me, Austin.
It was always
Oh, son of a bitch. What? It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
It was me. So I had the first point here out of this, tournament. But all right, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over, baby. Even though this match doesn't matter because officially, unfortunately, I mean,
fuck this match.
I know. I was waiting for that. I was fucking waiting for you to say something because I knew you were gonna be mad. You don't think Goto versus Evo?
Now Evo lose in 2 minutes to Zack Sabre Jr., but then beat Goto. Like fuck out of here.
Man, he spoiled another spoiler right here. He spoiled Goto's dreams to actually kind of win on a C block, but doesn't matter because
thanks to the spoiler,
mathematically he is out because regardless, if he would have won, I mean, I should know to be honest. If Goto would have won, he would have broken a tiebreaker with Naito. Yeah. And wait, did Naito beat Goto or Goto beat Naito?
Goto beat Naito.
And Goto would have won the C block. Then Goto would have won the C block. If Goto would have defeated Evo, regardless of Naito winning, Goto would have won because he has an upset against Naito.
Shouts to Naito, but I would have been happy with that.
I know when I saw the matchup and I'm like, what the fuck is just happening? And then just seeing Evo defeating Goto, the first thing that came, I really thought of you. I know.
I cannot believe this shit.
Damn. Hey, yo, what the fuck? I know you were that way. Just go ahead.
I was like, if you look like, I show my notes. Like I write a lot about each matchup. All I wrote for this one is that pisses me off. Oh, man, like honestly, like I thought it would have been a nice little story for Goto to win the block and go on, and like he didn't have to win the whole tournament, but like make it to the semifinals. I thought it would be cool. Like I understand they're telling the whole story with Naito coming back from being down in like the very bottom and working his way back up with the comeback, but it's like I don't know, like. If that was the case, we didn't need Zack Sabre Jr. to be evil in 2 minutes because I feel like you kill Evil's credibility. So then when he goes and beats someone like Goto, like, you're kind of killing Goto's credibility too. Like, if that was the case, like I said, I would have rather Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil have more of a competitive matchup so the sting didn't hurt as much in this matchup. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Both men are not in the tournament anymore. Goto had an amazing showing, I think, that like, especially the matchup with Tanahashi, the matchup he had with Naito, Goto definitely put on a great show, and he's another guy I want to see pushed up into that main event level.
I forgot, did Goto sack Zombie? Or did he lose? He lost to him. Never mind. He did.
He lost to him. Yeah. That was the matchup where they had a very good one, but Zack Sabre Jr. just.
That's right. He gave
out with the submissions. Yeah,
you're right. So you know what? No, let's say if Goto would have won with 8 points, right? If he would have won with 8 points, and Naito would have lost it, it would have been between him and Zombie would have won.
Zack Sabre Jr.
would have won. Yeah, he would have won the C block because he beat it already. Oh man, yeah, but
see, I'm not even mad at Goto losing. Like I said, I just wish that he would have lost to somebody else, or at least have Evil have more credibility going into this matchup instead of getting just squashed by Zack Sabre Jr. Because it's like, damn, man, like you get squashed like a jobber. I know this is a former champion, but he hasn't been too dazzling on this tournament. So you get squashed like a jobber, and then you fucking go and eliminate one of my favorites. Fuck you.
I just like how him, Evil, and Dictogo tried to do the magic killer. It gets reversed, and then it's Goto and Dictogo doing the magic killer to Evil. Yeah. And at the end, I thought it was funny at the end where you got Evil holding him up like he's doing the inverse DDT. He holds it, he's holding the ref, like gauging his eyes, and at the same time, which it just hurt me watching. You see Dictogo kick Goto right where it hurts, and then you can see it hurt, and then he gets out of the ring, and then that's when he does, of course, the finish and gets the 1, 2, 3. Because how are you going to kick out after you get hit right there and then get finished literally right afterwards? It was like
Evil couldn't even win the matchup like a man on his own. Yeah. Like,
well, that's why he's evil.
Exactly. He had Dick kick someone in the dick. It is what it is at this point. Whatever.
You hit the nail on the coffin there. That's exactly what happened.
That's the nail on the fucking coffin there.
That should be the highlight of this match,
right?
The highlight of this clip right there, and then have the crowd cheering. Any last thoughts that you want to add to this?
No, not really. I think he finished it off well right there.
I think he finished it off. It's fine. Now the moment we've been waiting for, because this is the one. Well, it determines who wins the C block, ladies and gentlemen. It comes down to Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but all I know is that somebody went on a tantrum, but did not expect this. I really did not expect this match to end this way. I was hoping. I think by all the G1s, I think this is one of the most fastest matches in the G1 history. Because you gotta tell me it starts from this to this to this to this and then to this, and it's over, and it's official. Tetsuya Naito in 1 minute and 58 seconds wins the C block by a roll-up. And of course,
did you notice exactly what he did, though? Did you notice exactly what he did? He did the inverted Destino.
Yes.
I acted like he was going to do that, and then he rolled him up instead because Zack Sabre Jr. was expecting the Destino, and he kind of caught him off guard by doing the roll-up because he did his homework from last year's G1 where they wrestled first, and then that's when he got hurt and he got taken out. He did his homework here, and all that happened was just like you showed it. Those clips, exactly everything that happened, and then a lot of what was funny was afterwards where he was just flipping out. He was like 3-3, but then you see Naito go look. He goes like this, laughs at him, and then you see Zack Sabre go to chase out on him, and you see Naito quickly goes in and just lays down and does the whole tranquilo thing. And he just lays there.
Tranquilo.
Yeah. And then he stares at him and he laughs at him. And then they do the back and forth in and out with the chair. But then you think Zack Sabre Jr. is done. Okay, he had the temper tantrum with the table, with the chairs thrown, set up the table, hitting it with the chair. He starts to walk back, but then you see Naito go with the ice bag, and he goes like this. He laughs. He looks at him. He's like, throws it at him. And then you see him get pissed again, grabs the chair, and then you see him go throw the second one like a baseball, and then you see him hit it into the crowd. And I'm just like, this is too much. And then I went and watched the backstage, and you see Zack Sabre Jr. He has the chair over his neck. He has a chair in his hand, and he's just flipping out. He's like, what the hell just happened? What the hell? I wasn't supposed to lose. Damn you, Naito. Yada, yada, yada. And then they go.
I wish I could get that video, man, but I can't because we get a strike if I put this fucking video. But yeah. But man, De Niro, what the fuck just happened here?
I mean, I have my theories on why it was so short. I think that, Naito is very banged up, and they try to protect him a little bit because he's probably going to go far. I could see him going to the finals, and they want to like make sure like he's going to be protected. Like if you're playing the story of the whole comeback, like the last thing you need is for him to get hurt, especially like a guy like Zack Sabre Jr. Like he's safe in the ring, but he also will tie you up like a pretzel. Which like if you see like Naito like limping to the ring sometimes, like I don't think that that's necessarily what you want him to do to your, guy. So. Wait, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and then you got to think of who he's facing next.
Yeah,
which was already decided that it was going to be Will Ospreay, a guy he has never faced. So I think they want to put more emphasis on that first time matchup where they're going to give him a lot more time. So maybe they're like, okay, let's get him out as soon as possible. 2 minutes, couple.
Let him get his rest before the match.
Yeah, he gets some rest. He comes out kind of unscathed. And then he goes into this matchup where he's probably going to go 20 minutes with the guy he has never wrestled before, which is kind of, when you think about it, you're like, damn, he really hasn't wrestled Will Ospreay.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like that's crazy to think about that because Ospreay's been in New Japan, I think, for about like 8 years now. Like I believe he made his debut in like 2014. Yeah. So like, he's been there for a while, and to think that he's never went against Naito. And not even just there, but Naito traveled around too. Like this never happened in Rev Pro. It's never happened in Ring of Honor. It's never happened. Like it's interesting to see. But I'm excited for it. I just I like Zack Sabre Jr. a lot. So like I didn't want to see him go out so quickly. But if you add his last two matches that he's had, 5 minutes total, right? The tantrum he had afterwards was longer than those last two matches combined.
Exactly.
But I mean, definitely an amazing showing for Zack Sabre Jr., especially in the early on. Like he put on some amazing matches. His match against Kenta, his match against Hinare, those were just bangers. So shout out to Zack Sabre Jr., but congratulations to Naito. Juggernaut 097. Appreciate you joining.
What's going on? I just appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. But yes, there you have it. Tetsuya Naito advances. He is now in the final four of this C block. So let's get into who got the C correct.
Hey,
it's a tie, a point each. So we got De Niro and Dan.
I'll share it with Dan.
There you go.
Thanks to my Cobb math.
So there you go. To your Cobb math. So now we're all one apiece now. So yes, bam. And Summer would have won. Jesus, man. Yeah, it would have been two. That's fine. All right. Now we get into the next matchup here. This matchup, of course, it's pretty much for pride, but also this could be the last time that we see this individual. We talked about him earlier on the earlier night. Tomohiro versus our boy Sonata, man. Sonata.
The great Sonata.
The great Sonata. Can I just say, excuse me, I love Chase Owens' commentary because, man, he made me laugh the whole fucking this night. He made me laugh throughout the whole fucking show. And just him saying, oh, man, but man, Sonata's still sexy, though, man. I'm just like, like Chase Owens wants me over, man. I love Chase Owens' commentary. Him and Kevin Kelly, oh, my God, great duel, man. I really enjoyed it. But yes, this could have, of course, Tomohiro Ishii with the upset, defeating Sonata, with the last win ending with 4 points, 2 and 4. Sonata ending 3 and 3 and 6 for the B block tournament. It's unfortunate we don't see Sonata, of course, how we had seen him before in the last G1. But I mean, this is something different. We see different from Sonata here himself.
Yeah.
But the biggest question here is, I think all of us, even Kevin Kelly, have been saying it. I think a lot of the fans here, I mean, it's nothing really too much to get into, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
However, though, the only thing is just that what I want to get into more is, just very brief, is, the career of not too much into it, but what I mean is like the career overall for Tomohiro Ishii in the G1 overall that he's participated. This could be his final one. I don't see retirement yet. I see more how you mentioned earlier, De Niro, that you might see him like working with the young lions, getting up there, like how we see who we see like Nagato, we see like
Suzuki,
Makabe. Yeah, we see them working with the young lions more for like a pre-opening show more. So we might see Ishii heading towards that. But I mean, overall, hands down to Ishii, man. I don't know what you guys think about Ishii's performance overall this last G1. Could this be his last G1, or do you think it's about time for him to retire? Or what do you think is the next goal for Ishii here? So I'll take it to you, De Niro.
I think that Ishii at this point, I could see him being in next year's G1 as well. I think that he's going to stick around for a little bit, work with the young lions, but he's a guy that you could depend on whenever you need to get like an extra like matchup on the card. You can always slide him into any spot, and he's going to deliver. Even though like he's not putting on the type of matches that Ishii would put on back in the day, like he's still putting on quality matches, and he proved that in this tournament because he had good matches against Jay White. He had good matches against Tama Tonga, which I'm still mad he won. But like he had, he had these good matches though. So like he still shows that he could go. So I feel like he's a guy until he officially retires. He's a guy that you could always slot into a G1 spot, and he's going to deliver.
Yeah.
But as for the matchup, though, this was just for bragging rights. It was just for, they fought for pride, and it was a good matchup. Shout out to that damn brainbuster that just everyone stays down for.
After those,
I'm sorry. He has a good point. But go ahead.
After those 5 or 6 near ball 3 counts for Sonata that he was getting, like he had him in like the Dragon Sleeper like 3 times. Yeah. Of course, like he had him in the roll up like 2-3 times, and like just when he thought he was getting a victory, it was like that one transition. It was the one reversal. Ishii hits him and then hits him with the brainbuster, and it's just like that's how this is finished, just like that, because it was just like that.
Yeah, but it was really out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere, but I think he's done as like a G1 contender. He's 46 now. He's old. Like he's 46. You got Tanahashi who's 44 or 45. I think you've got one more year left in Tanahashi before he makes that move as well. But I think this is the last time you see him in the G1. I think you're gonna maybe after Wrestle Kingdom make that transition over to just like I said, senior citizen. He's still going to compete, but it's going to be on like a lighter schedule where he's going to be in the beginning of the show, getting the wins over the young lions, helping them out, help them gain gain experience and everything like that, because he's taken a lot of damage. He's been known for doing a lot of big moves, a lot
strong
of strong style. And I think it's like you've seen the wear and tear on him in this tournament. Like he's kind of been slower. And I think he is to that point where he makes that move because they're talking about it. And I was like, they wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't halfway true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody knows what goes behind the scenes, but they know themselves. But I feel something tells me we're gonna see Tomohiro more on strong participation, less dates, but come work for the States more. Maybe be along with Shibata in the dojo, training the young lions as well, giving him a little leeway, a little break. I see him taking a quick break, coming back, do some tag team matches, with Chaos, and then I wouldn't be surprised if they sent him to Pro Wrestling Noah. Because why did I say that? Because who went over there to Noah and won the GAC heavyweight title? Who went over there to win it? Who did it? Man. Nagata. He fucking went over there. He won it. Was it no? Yeah, what's it?
No, it's not Okada.
No.
It's
No, not Okada. Jesus, why I forget his name?
Kojima.
There you go.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, "Fuck." Who is that?
Yeah. Kojima won the heavyweight title over there. So I mean, I see Ishii doing the same thing. Ishii doesn't want his career to end as in, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna want to go out his way, but I think what he should start is get some rest and just take it easy. Take it easy,
tranquilo. I'll tell you what, though, I would be excited to see him in Noah. Fresh matchups for him. Him versus Rob Van Dam.
Oh yes, or he can go with anybody there, man. Anybody.
Tranquilo.
Okay, we will be tranquilo. All right, man. It is time, not Vader time, but it's time to get into the win. Who will take the B block here between Tama Tonga versus Jay White? The anticipation that we've been waiting for. And it finally came down of who will take this block. All I know is that and the results are in, ladies and gentlemen. But before we put in the results, of course, we got to put some pictures here, highlights of the match. We got to do it. We have to, because it's a must for all of you guys. Since since we can't play it for you guys here, we can at least. Yes, I know. Oh. But yes,
we're about to move the podcast to Daily Motion.
I know.
Hey, yes, we should, right? And this, of course, is. Let's see here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put, of course, the photos. Un momento, por favor. Okay, I put the photos here as I'm uploading them now. But this matchup was really intense. And they gave this matchup 13 minutes and 56 seconds of nothing but emotional storytelling.
It was one of the long matches on the card.
Emotional storytelling, of course, with the chops. Of course, we see with this Stinger Splash. Let's call it Stinger Splash. This is what it is with a splash. And of course, oh man, nice, plex right there. And of course, oh my God, I'm telling you. He does. I don't think nobody can do. Name me someone or comment below who does a better Uranagi than Jay White.
You're not the only one that says it.
Nah, his is nasty.
Yeah, Tim was saying the same thing a couple of days ago. How he says that he has one of the best Uranagis, and
fuck yeah,
I agree, and I agree with that. Cold-heartedly, he has one of the best in the business. The one thing with this matchup that I loved, there's one part that I loved the most. It was the homage to Finn Balor, Prince Devitt.
Oh, that's right.
The Bloody Sunday.
The Bloody 77, I think it was. Yes.
Yeah, and he used that to set up the gun stun at the end where he went to do it. Jay White caught it in the air, then he turned it around and did it again. Like he caught him off guard trying to do it again, and then he hit it. And then he gets the pinfall and gets the victory. Everybody was stunned. They were just stunned.
And right there.
I love that. Yeah, I love how the storytelling of that, because it was Prince Devitt who brought Tama Tonga into the original Bullet Club, and Jay White that kicked him out.
Yes, and there's your gun stun right there.
And I think it's going to serendipitous and who brought Chase Owens in? Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Kenny Omega, they both brought him in, but then who was on commentary? Chase Owens.
It was a perfect story being told. You had both Jado and Gato outside, and you know the history between Jado and Gato.
Yes,
they were sort of telling that. I loved in the beginning though the chops. He was doing the two sweet chops, and then you see Tama Tonga go, come on, hit me again. And then Jay White was kind of falling for it. Then he stopped, and then he was like, okay, I got to hit him now because I'm not going to fall for the hook up. And it was just a good back and forth action here. It was one of the best matches on the night. But the right guy went over. I think the right guy went over. I said it in the beginning.
Yes, you did.
The champion never wins, except for 2002, which they were trying to get me to second guess myself because they're like, the last guy to do was 2000 when it was in the B block, and then this is a B block matchup. I was like, are they trying to make me second guess myself here by saying that? But I was like, I'm still sticking with it. I was like, because you got Tama Tonga, he needs this win. He needs.
And then you see Jay White go 5-0. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, and then you see them talking about how he has moved to the team Hong Tai now, and that's who he's representing. He wants to recruit people there.
Tai.
He's all about the good fight now, and for him to get that big time win, I was excited because I was saying all along, I'm like, you gotta have Tama Tonga win this. You gotta give the people something different. Get them thinking. Who's gonna win? If Jay White's not gonna do it, can Tama Tonga really have that chance? You've seen the storytelling where he gets kicked out of the group, and then he goes on this kind of a good roll where he getting kicked out of the group kind of turned him into like that main event style talent now because he's made the push up. He's had a different attitude. He's getting good with certain wrestlers now. And we talked about with Tanahashi. He's in Hong Tai now. He had that finishing thing with Taichi where it was kind of like, okay, we're even now. Like we had that big thing with the arm, but now we're even now. Now we're on that neutral ground. Now you see him kind of like what you see, but in a better way with Matt Hardy and AEW with the pennants. He's doing that, but in a lot different but better way, where they're actually telling you something in the ring rather than doing all these vignettes. He doesn't need the vignettes. He's telling you as he's wrestling. You're telling him how he's speaking to him, how he's playing, and afterwards the shaking of the hand or the we're even. That's all you got to do. It's short and simple, and he's doing it, and the crowd is eating it up. And he's the one. And then just like I told you guys before, the afterwards, he goes in. Jay White just looks so defeated, so exhausted, and he goes, kind of like Ospreay when he lost the Finlay. He's like, did I lose? Did he win? How did he win? It was like, I took everything from him. And then he comes in and he gets the biggest victory of his career against me. It was like, I created this. They should thank me because even though he beat me, I'm the reason this happened. I changed Tama Tonga. And at the end, he just goes, F, 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 and he gets louder. You feel that doubt in him because he lost. He doesn't know what to do next because he lost. He lost the G1. He's the champion, so he's still a little bit cocky, but he knows that he messed up. He knows that he took him for granted. Like he didn't take Tama Tonga serious, and he lost, and it was his fault. And now he has to go back into the drawing board and prepare for whoever wins this G1.
Did Nero.
This matchup was amazing. The story that was told was just excellently told, and it was in so many different forms also. I love the intensity in the matchup. You could feel that Tama Tonga was fighting with a chip on his shoulder, and it was just amazing to see that moment of Tama Tonga getting the victory on Jay White. By far the biggest victory of his career. Singles victory, that is. And it was just amazing to see. I thoroughly enjoyed this matchup. Shout out to Impact Wrestling because this whole feud started in Impact Wrestling. He got kicked out in Impact Wrestling. So a lot of people got to put some respect on Impact Wrestling's name for bringing us I know it was New Japan that wrote the story. It just played out on Impact, but
and then he even played it out on AEW, having the Young Bucks. It changed their Twitter that one time. They're like, we didn't like him anyway, or something like that. So it was kind of like this three promotion thing where they kind of built it up a little bit and kind of just stirred the pot.
This was a Forbidden Door story.
Yes.
But definitely amazing win for Tama Tonga. I'm so excited for him. I'm excited to see his matchup with Okada. This was just amazing. Oh shit, I spoiled it. Sorry guys. My bad. But I'm definitely excited.
So excited you wanted to spoil it.
Yeah, my bad. I should have gave a warning. But I'm excited to see him go on to the semifinals. And Dan, you made me a believer. I'm for Tama Tonga winning the whole thing. Let's have this rematch, run it back at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and just like we said, we've said it this whole time. We want them to build new stars, and they created one here. They didn't think that they were going to be able to, but they did. They created one here. It also helped out that his brother is hurt right now, recovering from an injury, so it gave him something to work with him for a longer period of time. And then just that whole, I wouldn't say it's the end of the storyline, but it's just the turn of the page to a bigger part of the storyline now.
It's a great end to this chapter.
You're at the beginning with them kicking him out and turning on him, but now you're not I wouldn't say the climax, but you're getting to the climax where he put one over on Jay White and cost him a spot from doing something that he really wanted to do and win his first G1, and he cost him that chance. And then he referenced it. He was like, I was 5-0, and you took that undefeated record from me. You took it away. So there's going to be something. If they don't do Wrestle Kingdom, I don't know what they do, because this is just laid out perfectly. The storyline rise. This is long-term storytelling here. If unless you have, I don't know when they're going to do it.
Unless you have Jay White lose the title at King of Pro Wrestling or something, and then you have this matchup happen again at Wrestle Kingdom, just not for the title. But I think the perfect way you could have Tama get his ultimate revenge is taking the title from Jay White. So I think that would be the ultimate climax to this storyline.
Indeed. So we see here that Tama Tonga is now in the final four, winning the B block. And now let's see who got Tama Tonga here. And of course, Dan with the upset as he is up 2. There you go. 2 wins right here. Now we're down to the A's, ladies and gentlemen. But
I was living and dying by that sword with Tama Tonga here. I was living. That was my pick there. I was like, I didn't even need to say Sonata. I was so sure of it. I was like, Tama Tonga. That's it.
Yeah.
To this day.
That's what you were at to this day.
If you don't believe him, check the archives.
Check the archives of the New Japan episodes. You see.
Yeah.
Now we get into the A block. Now this is, however, this could go either way. And what I laughed about this one though, because I'll get into it. But first of all, kudos to fucking Jonah, another one who really made a name for himself in this G1 climax. Obviously the biggest win in his career, defeating, Okada, beating the best superstar in the world, as he mentioned, getting one of his biggest upsets in his career. And of course, Battle of Fale as well. Impressive. He's showing me that he could go. And what I noticed too, I don't know if you guys noticed, that Fale loses some weight lately. I don't know, and he looks like he's getting in better shape. But I'm really happy to see him.
Dojo.
That dojo that he has up in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really happy for Battle of Fale as well to make a name for himself. The crowd was very, very quiet because this is, these two massive heavyweights facing off a singles competition. Jonah did mention the night before, because he was on commentating, that they faced in tag teams, but they never faced ever in a singles competition.
The Kaiju match.
Yes, and we had that. And then, that body slam, man. It just, oh, Jesus. And, of course, damn it, Kevin Kelly, you got to see it right. Torpedo! And then, of course, what can you say like that, Kevin Kelly? No, you're saying it right towards the end. Torpedo. Like, come on. What the fuck was that?
And usually Kevin Kelly does a lot more than that,
Yeah, he does it for Okada. Oh, yeah, Rainmaker, but he can't do it for fucking Jonah, man. That's fucked up.
Did you notice how he was attacking Battle Fale's one arm a lot of the time?
Yes, he was. And then what I noticed, Chase Owens was just like, come on, Fale. Come on. Oh, man. And Chase Owens wanted to leave after the Jay White loss. He's like, Kevin Kelly telling him, you can't leave. They'll find you if you leave. You got to stay throughout this whole show. He's like, damn, I got to stay. But, oh, man, kudos to Jonah. Now, with Jonah winning the main event, if it goes to a tie, then, of course, Jonah advances and goes to the final four. But
they actually said if it would have went to like a tie or double disqualification. No, actually, if it would have went to no contest, it would have been a three-way.
Three-way, there you go. Three-way.
Which would have been crazy. It would have been crazy.
Yeah, think about that match. If it was Okada versus Jonah versus Tama.
Yeah. You know, and then to think about this, so like I'm thinking of this match, I'm like, Jonah, he's from Australia. You got Bad Luck Fale, New Zealand. He opened up the New Zealand, New Japan Pro Wrestling New Zealand dojo there. That he's trying to train talent to bring them over. There's 3 or 4 guys in 4 guys in this tournament from that area. Well, you have Jay White. People forget about him. He's from New Zealand. But he came in through the Japan dojo, and then he started out in the UK. A lot of people don't know that him and Jamie Hayter from AEW started in the same class for learning to wrestle in the UK. But then you got Aaron Hanare. He's from New Zealand, and like you got these wrestlers that can kind of build that dojo there if they go back there as like just special guests to help out Bad Luck Fale. That's why sometimes you don't see him there for months at a time for certain tours, is because he's going back to train these young lions over there. He wants to build that brand there, like Shibata did in the U.S. and like they have done for decades over in Tokyo, Japan. They want to build that over there because it's only like a 5 or 6 years old, and then they did that whole documentary about it. And I just love the fact that that you're starting to see those fresh talent from over there. And then just me realizing that is really great because it gives you hope to see these differences and how they're going to make this better. But this match wasn't long, but it didn't need to be long. Yeah. They were able to do what they needed to do in a short amount of time. They're 2 big guys. And one of these guys was going to fall eventually, and then the other was going to capitalize. And you had Fale, who has no problem putting over Jonah. That's the thing here. Fale never has had a problem, and that's why I think they put the tag title on him and Owens for a month. They wanted to give back to him for all the times that he puts people over, and he made Jonah look good. And Jonah had a great G1. He finished 4-2. Had 8 points, and it was his first time over, and the crowd likes him.
Yeah, definitely. De Niro.
This was definitely a quick matchup, but yeah, Jonah had a hell of a tournament, especially that victory over Okada. That matchup he had with Cobb was amazing. I wasn't here last week to talk about that, but I love that matchup with him and Cobb. But for sure, I keep saying it. I think that Jonah is going to be the next big Gaijin in New Japan. I think that he has the makings of being the next big Van Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bruiser Brody style wrestler for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I think that he's there to stay. And the crowd, like you said, is behind him. So I'm with it. So good showing for both Fale and Jonah in the tournament. This matchup was just for bragging rights and pride, but Jonah definitely is a star.
Oh, man. Definitely he is. Oh, man. It is now time for the main event of the evening of the last match of the tournament. It is do or die, because whoever wins advances and becomes the winner of the A block, and there is no contest. Jonah will be competing the next following day in a triple threat match. These 2 individuals, Kazuchika Okada versus Lance Archer. I'm gonna say this right now. This was a fucking dream fight. Why do I say? Because why the hell is he standing there, like waiting? Okay,
and he didn't hit any of the young lions either, which Chase Owens was like, "This is weird."
Yes,
he was in the zone.
And then out of nowhere, we see the choke slam. Out of nowhere, and oh man, this was David is a Goliath type of story, Dragon Ball Z status for me, and just to see that happening, and then seeing Lance Archer dominated the first 5 minutes of this matchup. That drop kick, of course, and then we see there you go. He does an own Rainmaker on Okada. The crowd was livid. The crowd was really going in ecstatic because they're like, "Oh my god, this could be the end for Okada." this could have been the biggest win for Lance Archer's career and winning and advancing to the G1. Then we see Okada pull back with the more upsets. Another, right after we see Lance Archer, Okada's trying to come back, and then of course with the Rainmaker. And the results, ladies and gentlemen, is in. The results are your winner of the A Block tournament, Kazuchika Okada. Courtesy of Mike De Niro, because he already spoiled it earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's not good. It's cool.
And
My bad.
And the money clip was the changing of the match too, because Archer dominated it until the money clip. The money clip was the thing that kind of wore him out a little bit, brought Okada back in, let him gain a little bit of breath, and then you saw like he just wanted to use just enough time with it to get a little bit of energy back, and that's what got him back in, and then pulled the win out of his ass there. You would say, because he looked like he was getting dominated, and then he just came back and got the victory like Okada does best. But all I'm going to say is I'm going to keep it short. Tony Khan, take notes, because this is something you need to do with this guy. He comes over, like you didn't use him that much. He comes over to New Japan, and they make him look like $1 million. Even though they had him win by TQ twice. He won by DQ twice. Even though he did that, they still made him look like $1 million with this one match.
He just seems so much happier in Japan.
Yeah. That's where he got his big break. That's where he got his big break. Like he was never used well in WWE. He got used great over in Japan with the Suzuki Gun. He tag teamed with the Harry Smith.
He had a little stint in TNA, but then they went with the whole rock and rave infection.
Yeah. Shout out to Wrestler News. What's going on, brother? Part of the PCW Ultra podcast. But yes, De Niro.
This was a war, and he made Okada earn that victory. This wasn't an easy victory for Okada. He actually made him earn it, which this was cool. Like I mentioned in Okada's match against Jeff Cobb, and I mentioned in Okada's match against Finlay, and also with Jonah. Like I like when Okada is the underdog, and I like that Okada has to like bring his opponents down to size. I think he wrestles well when he's going against a bigger guy. So like he had a really good matchup. But yeah, Lance Archer, he's so good, and he doesn't get enough shine in the States, which is a goddamn shame. But I mean, I would like to see more of him here in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and hopefully he stays in New Japan, because Tony Khan don't know what to do with him. But for sure,
True.
But yeah, he definitely made Okada earn that victory. Congratulations to Okada, who had an amazing tournament.
Absolutely. And I love when the fact that, Lance Archer, he right at the post conference, he's like, yes, he could tell by his face he was really sad that he's leaving. He enjoyed his whole time here in Japan. But he's like, get ready. He's like, oh, he called out Wardlow. He called out Moxley. He called out Pa. Calling for the singles title belts. So,
those matches won't happen, though.
No,
it'll be Lance Archer versus Jabare on Dark.
Yes, or on Elevation, because of courtesy of this guy.
That's fucking bullshit.
No, you're bullshit, Tony Khan, because he's not fucking booking Lance Archer like that. He deserves better, damn it. Because I don't want Archer to be coming back. And
you motherfuckers. You think you can do this to me?
Exactly. Do not do it to him.
You know what I would like if I don't know if Davey Boy Smith Jr. is signed anywhere, but I would like AEW should bring him in and then bring back the Killer Elite Squad. Like, I think that there would be more of a spot for Lance Archer if he was in the tag team.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Killer Elite Squad was a fucking crazy ass tag team. I really miss them. Like, imagine them in the AEW tag division with like the list goes on and on of how many great tag teams AEW has. I could see Killer Elite Squad fitting right in with them, or even put them on Ring of Honor, because Killer Elite Squad actually was former Ring of Honor tag team champions. They beat the Briscoes for it in 2014. So, like, there's history there too if you want to put them on ROH.
Very, very true. Very, very true. All right, now let's get into who Kota on the A's. Damn. Oh, let's say Dan won this one. So overall, Dan.
And I was close with Jonah too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I was way fucking far.
Hey,
Far.
but both you guys finished 3-3, so
Yeah.
Yep, you won this one, Dan. You won those picks. Good job, bro. Good job. But it's not over because we will pick the semifinals, which it will be starting in a couple of hours. For the first time ever, you will have Tetsuya Naito versus Will Ospreay. That's later on this evening tonight. And that is, of course, later on. And the winner of Kazuchika Okada versus Tama Tonga.
The main event's going to be Naito and Ospreay.
Yes, because that's going to be. Let's see. So that's. I want to. Hold on, let me write it down here. Let's see.
Show's gonna start in a couple hours. Fuck it, let's stay up.
Yeah. 6 p.m. 6 p.m.
I wish I could say that. My boss is probably watching this right now. He's like, "Oh, you gotta call off, huh? You're on live. You're live.
Well, I'm watching you."
He's like, "You're live, pal." So man,
your boss sounds like Vince McMahon.
Because they have 8 matches on the card.
Now here's the picks. Now we gotta break it down here, gentlemen. Oh man, what do you got? I will start. Hold on, I need to do something here very briefly. What the fuck happened here? I just had something here. Give me a minute. I missed over here. Come on, upload. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Hey.
All right. Now, let's go with the first. Well, okay. You know what? Let's go with. Yeah, we have to go with this one first. We have to go with the Naito Ospreay. So, Dan, what do you got on this one?
Tranquilo. I got Tetsuya Naito pulling out the victory and going right into the finals like this.
Okay, all right. So you got Naito.
Yes, the first time matchup. They're facing each other. Just like I said, it was a good thing to have Ospreay get this momentum, but he is the U.S. champion, and it seems like he has this unfinished business to deal with right afterwards. I feel like they're going to keep him right there in that lane that they're in. They're not going to be like, okay, put him in this lane when he's already here. They're going to keep him in that lane. He gets the semis, has a great match. He might dictate the match, but then at the end, Naito gets him with the out of nowhere Destino for the victory.
Okay. De Niro, who do you have on this one?
I mean, after Dan just won the whole thing, I might as well copy him. But but you know what? I'm going with Will Ospreay. I'm going with Will Ospreay just for the fact that I was telling Ivan off air, if this shit comes down to Okada versus Naito, I just feel like it's going to be the same old typical booking with New Japan, where it's it always comes down to. So I think that a fresh matchup would be. I'm not, I guess that kind of spoiled my next pick, but I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay here. I don't think that Will Ospreay needs to win the whole tournament, and you can still have him go down the road of defending the U.S. title and feuding with Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and David Finlay. But I think that Will Ospreay wins this matchup and goes to the finals.
Oh man, I was I'm gonna be the one here breaking it down. It's come down to me.
Damn,
I'm a tiebreaker over here. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Yes, I am, because it's for the first time you have these two individuals meeting, which I never thought it will happen. I thought it did happen, as we mentioned earlier, De Niro and I, Dan, but this is happening, and this is going to be a great storytelling. And who I think is going to win this one, because I have to agree with De Niro. I have to. I love you, man. I love you, Naito. Don't get mad, all right? Don't get mad, please.
Tranquilo.
I'm okay. You tranquilo, because even though I'm an LIJ fan, but we
take that back.
Fresh. even though we need something fresh, we need something new, and just with Ospreay advancing to the finals, I would not be mad about that. If they're gonna go with Naito to win this one, I have a feeling this is gonna be his last run. Because remember what I said a couple weeks back. He doesn't look the same no more. He's banged up. He's extremely banged up. This could be maybe, I think maybe for him to hang his boots, maybe, or this could be this final. Let me mention back what Kevin Kelly said.
Yeah,
He mentioned could be his last as well. This could be his last chance to main event the Tokyo Dome. When I remember hearing Kevin Kelly said that, and now seeing Naito advancing to the semifinals, maybe this could be it. But that's going with strategic mind.
yeah.
My heart wants Ospreay because it's something different and new. Because it's not the same any longer. Because I don't know. I think who has with the most G1s? Is it Okada or Kota Ibushi? Okada has the most.
Okada got 3.
He has 3. Naito could go ahead and break, make it the same even as 3 if he wins this one all the way. But we don't know that yet.
And then just to think, they kind of teased you in both directions here. They teased you with that, but then they teased you with Ospreay when they put that one match with the United Empire and Bullet Club, where him, Ospreay, and Jay White were in the ring together, and he grabs the belt from him, and you kind of see they've never been in the same ring together.
I think that's the money match.
Since United Empire, and it's like I could see that, but then I could see that, but then I could also see Jay White versus Will Ospreay at Royal Quest too in UK. I could see that. True. So it's like I could see both, and it's like for me, it's kind of like system overload where I'm like here, there, and I'm like I'm just gonna watch the match and whoever wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's a lot of possibilities here that can go different directions depending what they want to go with. I don't know here. This one is tough. It's a tough call, to be honest. But I wish the crowd was allowed to cheer, because I think that's my opinion. I think that will determine to see who wins, because if we hear the crowd how they cheer either for Naito or Ospreay, that's just me. I mean, I don't know if you guys beg to differ, but I think it'll go based upon that. But we'll see. But now let's get into this. Is the one that's important. Because we have, of course, your John Cena of New Japan, Okada. It's the truth. I mean, regardless, people may get shitted on. It's damn fucking truth. Okada is your John Cena of New Japan. But he's still lovable. I love him regardless, because he still brings up 5-star matches. 5 beards, excuse me. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Just wanted to say that. And Tama Tonga. First time. Could this be it? Could this be his career? Could this be his moment?
Remember, who was the only one to beat Okada in the G1 last year?
Tama.
Now, if Okada's the John Cena of New Japan, was Tama Tonga?
You're Randy Orton.
He's not at Randy Orton status yet.
Hey, look what move he uses.
Stun gun, baby. Stun gun.
Still, though, like...
Well, he was stuck in a tag team division for how many times? I mean, if he would have put him on singles, maybe we could have compared that. But he's
Dolph Ziggler. No, I'm just
what?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, no. Why would you say that? No.
What's up with that?
Really?
He's the Logan Paul of
Goodbye.
Oh, hell no.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
It's getting hot here, man. I'm getting it. Damn. All right, go ahead. So take it away to who do you got?
I got Tama Tonga. Just for the fact that I think that it's the fresh matchup. Tama Tonga needs to win. I think that Tama Tonga goes all the way and wins the tournament. Also, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be the first time in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. And, New Japan been around since the 70s, so it's very rare you got a first time, but it'll be the first time in New Japan Pro Wrestling history that you have 2 Gaijin in the finals of the G1.
Indeed.
I'll let you go first.
You want me to go? I'm like,
yes.
I think Dan's going for Okada.
Yeah, De Niro already took my shine, so.
Oh, my bad.
Or
I'm
did
fucking
he?
everything up tonight. God damn.
Or
No,
did he? Yeah.
well, look, it's valid point though. I mean,
Yeah.
two Gaijins in the finals, it changes the whole direction of New Japan, and it changes also. I think for me, it gives eyes on the product more from the American audiences because you see not just the same people. Now, if let's say Naito Okada meet again, I guarantee people are not going to be watching it. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be upset. And this is where you can blame booking at its best. And Goto will be the one I'll blame for this.
Going to the well too many times.
Yeah, this is too many times already. No disrespect to Okada or Naito, but I mean, for me, doesn't make there's no sense. Doesn't make sense for me for Okada to win. Tama needs to win this one. For me, doesn't make because there's no story to Okada. You lost to Jay White Coon.
And also remember, Okada, either he had his wife had the baby already, or he's about to have a baby, so he might be taking some time. Yeah, he might be taking some time off anyway. So if it's a thing where he wins and then say he wins the whole tournament, and then he takes time off and then he comes back at Wrestle Kingdom, like I think that'll be a little like let him lose this, take his time off, and then return at Wrestle Kingdom.
So something tells me we're gonna see something happening in the semifinals. Either interference or something's going to cause this to happen because when I'm looking at the card now and looking at tonight's card, I just realized that the Good Brothers are back. They're in Japan. So that's a
damn Good Brothers.
Damn Good Brothers.
Don't tell me that. And it's the match right before Okada and Tama.
Yes. Spaghetti. Yeah, because they're it's Taiji Shimori, the Good Brothers, and Jay White versus pretty much Tanahashi, Toru Yano, David Finlay, and Kushida. So this, I don't know. Something's telling me that we're going to see Tom here.
And then you got LIJ going up against House of Torture. Right before that. Way before that. Well, I mean that's match 5. That's match 5.
I would like to see if like the Good Brothers try to interfere, and then maybe we get Tungaloa. Maybe is he back? Is he coming back or
I don't know. There's no news.
When he did the Nashville tapings the pay-per-view at the end of July, he did commentary and he said he was still hurt, but he was nearing a return. So
you could say the Good Brothers and Jay White come out. You could have Tungaloa, Jado, and fucking bring Hikuleo over. Like, why is he still with Bullet Club?
I was gonna say, when are you gonna finally bring him over and tease him attacking his brother, but then him going good instead of staying bad? When are you gonna see that happen?
And you know what? With all the stories and the legends and the folklore of what Haku could do, and that one man could clear out a whole bar. Fucking, if I want bodyguards, if I want someone to have my back, I'm bringing my old dad to be in my side at this show. Like, bring Haku. He's standing out there, making sure that nobody interferes. Because I'll tell you this right now, Haku could take everybody out in the Bullet Club all at once.
But when I think of the G1, I just think of the big time interferences. Like, this is where Will Ospreay started United Empire against Okada, and where he had Great Khan just pop up to the right, and then you had, of course, his woman there, Bray Presley there, and they started that with Ospreay there, where he had Great Khan distract him and help Ospreay get the victory, and it cost Okada.
Yeah.
But that was on the last day in Budokan. But everything happens in Budokan. Everything good or bad happens there. So something's going to happen in one of these matches. I don't know what is it going to be, but there's so much like storylines with everybody. Like we said, Okada, like he loses to Jay White, the belt to Jay White at Dominion, and he goes, when you find yourself, get yourself back to the Okada that I know, come find me. And I think he's going to lose this, go away, and then come back somehow. a different guy. That's why I think.
So that means you got
Tama.
See, you got Tama Tonga.
Yeah, I got Tama Tonga. Fresh face, like we said.
Shocked.
I'm doubling down on him. Like I said, he was going to go to the finals from the beginning. I'm doubling down. I can't go against it now, but it's like there's so much going on with like I took Okada off of it at the beginning because I know he's having the baby, and I don't see him taking a lot of time off. Maybe I think he takes September off because they're doing Burn Spirit, and maybe October, but I don't see him taking too much time because it all depends on when they're doing World Tag League, which might be in November. It all depends on that because he could take a little bit of time off, come back for a tour in October, but then go back again because of World Tag League where he doesn't compete, and he'll get a month off. But it's like I just see with me, I just see it being Naito and Tama Tonga in the finals. I could see the reasoning with Ospreay, but I feel like the thing with him and Jay White could happen at a Royal Quest because are you going to do that long term with Tama Tonga? I feel like, or that thing with the Naito, or are you going to do the short term where it's a big high profile match, but you do it with no big like the built up storyline with it, where you've had that long 6 to 8 month storyline with Tama and Jay.
Okay. Now we gotta get into it. Let's end it right here with this. Who wins the G1 32?
Tama Tonga.
So you okay? So I'm gonna highlight it. And put it right here. Dan's the winner, Tama Tonga. Okay. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this or we're catching the replay, it's Tama Tonga. De Niro,
See,
who's your winner?
I'm now going for Tama Tonga too. I just don't want to make it sound like I'm copying Dan. But put me down for Tama Tonga too.
Tama Tonga. All right. Ah, son of a bitches, man. Why? Oh, man.
You know you want to do it. Just say Tama.
No.
You know you want to do it.
I know. I
to
do.
the dark side.
I do. But I'm going more with my heart than my stomach. It makes all sense with Tama's storyline. I'm not disagreeing there. Fuck it. Might as well. I have to join. I mean, as much as I want Ospreay, but I think, it
was hard for me because I'm like, just like you said, it makes sense. But like, I'm like thinking like, once I saw him grab the belt from J1, I'm like, how can I convince myself to go away from Tama and go to Ospreay because they want to tease it like that? And then I'm like, he has the U.S. title right now. You would give him the G1 briefcase. What is he going to do? When is he going to drop the briefcase? And then when are you going to set up that match between him and Jay White? Because I don't think you're going to do it like just like this, like boom, boom, boom. And then usually the person that has the briefcase always defends it once, at least once now. And you saw Kota Ibushi defend it and lose it.
like a dumbass.
Yeah.
He did. He looked like a
I know.
Oh my god!
But then he wins it anyway.
Jay
Then he
White
wins the belt
walked
anyway.
away like, thank you, bye bye.
And then Kota won anyway. But it's like all signs just to me point to Tama Tonga because of the storyline. Like it makes me like I still feel like at the end. Oh, you know what? I just thought of it. Oh my god! But I can't. Like, I want to think that Kenny Omega is going to cost Will Ospreay. I want to say it. I want to say it because everything happened. But then it's like, how is he going to do that? But then get to Dynamite and be the Young Bucks partner all on the same day.
Well, Ospreay was on Dominion, and then 2 days later he was on Dynamite.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Wednesday, so how is he gonna?
Unless Omega is not the partner for the Young Bucks.
That is true.
But I'll tell you this right now. I think that's I definitely think that we're going to probably be seeing Ospreay versus Omega at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
All signs are pointing towards that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we giving you 2.5 hours
Longer.
of such
2
hours and 40 minutes
Yeah.
of fantastic recap, and we will be back on Friday to recap the semifinal and the final of the see who won this prediction. But it looks like we're all the same. We're all the same anyways, but we'll see if it does happen. We don't know yet. So this is going to be very interesting to see.
I'll tell you one
where
thing.
this goes.
This isn't going to be a 2-hour show. with only two matches.
30 minutes in, we're like, all right, guys.
No, 3 matches. We tell you, so
three. My bad. Three. Yeah,
if Tama Tonga doesn't win, you guys are doing the show alone.
Oh no!
No, I'm joking. Nah.
Oh no, we're gonna digress.
I'm sure I'm gonna talk my shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we'll definitely give our fucking thoughts about it too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But man, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to subscribe and follow us on our social media platforms. Don't forget to follow Cage My IQ. Don't forget to follow the rest of the DeLorean. Follow us everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because man, we're gonna give you the good shit for coming up this Friday. We won't do a top 20, but we'll be back here 10:30 Eastern time on Friday. 10:30 Eastern. Earlier we're doing it this time. 9:30 time and 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back Friday to recap the semifinals and the finals of the G1 and to see who wins, pretty much see who wins it all and possibly break down. I want to break down all the matches, just really not much, but I can tell you the match right now for tonight, this evening coming up. We do have Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii Chaos versus Suzuki Gun, which is Taka, Doku, Yoshi Kanemaru, and Lance Archer is still there. He'll be back pretty soon. You have, of course, Team Filthy as this is the one I do want to see though. Roy Isaac and Tom Lawlor versus Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. I would like to see Lawlor and
Zack Sabre Jr. and Tom Lawlor going to mix it up, and it's going to be nasty.
I can't wait to see that.
That'd be great.
I want that one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed. And then, of course, Tomaki Homna and Togi Makabe versus Badu Tito and Jonah. Of course, United Empire, Great O'Khan, and Jeff Cobb and Aaron Hanari versus Bullet Club, Chase Owens, Balak Fale, and Juice Robinson. LIJ, Bushi, Hiromu, Sonata, and Shingo versus Phantasmo, Yujiro, Kenta, and Evil. And you have Kushida, Finlay, Toriano, and Tanahashi versus Taji Zamori, the Good Brothers, and Jay White. And then the semifinals, of course, happening there. And then on Thursday, you have the finals. They haven't brought the card yet. The match card is not there available yet, but that's the match card for today, this evening. Once again, tune in tonight for the semifinals, and that is happening. And there's a time, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. for Pacific Standard Time, people. I'm not going to stay up at 2 in the morning. I got to work work early in the morning, but I'm not staying
I got to leave my house to get to work at 5, so on the train to work, I'm going to be...
I'm about to say that's in 3 hours. That's 3 hours from now.
Yes. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in here on the New Japan show of the rest of the DeLorean, Cage My IQ, and Circle Debate here. We'll be back Friday. Do not forget. And also tomorrow, the rest of the DeLorean is back again here as well on the COD channel. Bring you some good ECW hardcore TV shit.
We're also going to be talking about Monday Night Raw from this past Monday and NXT from tonight, which was a really good show. NXT Heatwave was fire.
Cannot wait to hear it. And also later that evening, MMA Podcast, episode 21, UFC 278, Usman Edwards. Make sure you tune up for that tomorrow. And then Thursday, back with episode 115. And Friday, the New Japan show recap for the semifinal and finals. And of course, before that, once again, Brother Mike is back with another DeLorean episode, taking back to the TNA days and also recapping some Dynamite for you that time before the New Japan show.
Yes, sir. Busy week.
Yes, we do have a busy week here on
So
this
hit that
CLD.
subscribe button and catch it all.
Absolutely,
Like
subscribe.
Pokemon, catch them all.
Yes. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we don't just all of us here make podcasts. We make
Will
over and over,
make
over and over,
history
over and over and over